is it that Sheree Cooper hasn't done that I can say he should do to say he's done it all?
He won that championship. That was it.
Everything. He's done everything. He's scored a lot of assists.
The only thing that can cap off his career is becoming Mr. Basketball.
So why is it that when I watch it while I'm Odom, did I feel like he's the best player? Every time I watch the Wild Odom play, I feel like I'm seeing something special. Like I'm seeing something that I'm not gonna maybe not see again. Said that for a long time, BJ Boston was my favorite high school player in Georgia. I don't get that feeling that I'm seeing something I'll never see again. It's the Love of the Game podcast. We back. We in the building. We out here. We in these streets.
I'm not in those streets.
Hey man.
Hey, me.
I still don't like the introduction, man.
Hey, Locke is in these streets.
Locke is in these streets. I'm at home.
Hey man, Locke, you the Dennis Rodman of the crew, dog. Dennis wouldn't have took no Corona days off, dog.
Girl, don't believe the rumors.
Hey, I logged on Instagram on the Shade Room, and they posted a video from the club in Midtown, and I seen Locke right in the
mix. Locke had his hands up with 2 cups, dog. Double cup Locke.
I wish, man. I was at home playing Madden.
Hey, Locke, who's your Madden team, bro? This is gonna tell me a lot about you, Locke. So be careful.
Uh-oh.
Who's your team on Madden?
The Ravens.
Yeah.
Come on, fellas. Come on, fellas. I thought y'all was good people, man. You gotta be a Stiller, man. You gotta be.
Oh, here we go. Here you go.
Hey, dog. Bryce Wi-Fi going already, dog.
Oh,
Bryce,
he already frozen.
Annie, are you okay?
It's just been 3 minutes.
I'm back. Chill.
Hey, Bryce got all that great ambiance, dog, and no Wi-Fi. What's going on, bro?
Look, man, I can pay for the Wi-Fi, but I can't build the trench and get the Ethernet cord and all that to work and make it speed up.
Bryce, I was worried about my internet going out. You
gotta worry. You gotta worry. Mine's the worst. Mine's the worst on the show. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Hey, man. This is another sucker-free Sunday. I just want y'all to understand, like we always say about this time, there are no suckers in our circle. Ain't no suckers in our circle, dog. Every time we bring you a guest, you already know what time it is, that we bring you the real movers and shakers. We bring you the real guys that make it happen in the culture. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what time it is, dog. This is how we appropriately get down. So Huff is in the building. 805 Pride, what's good?
Oh man, let's roll. Let's get to it today.
Bryce still operating off of Teddy Riley's Wi-Fi router. Bryce, what's happening? I don't know if Bryce is here.
You can't even hear.
You don't even hear.
I don't know, Bryce. We don't know what's going on, Bryce. You're on mute, dog. Come on.
I know what it is. It's the Xbox that's plugged into the internet. It's probably strong,
Man, you got too much going on, man.
Too much going on in here.
Bryce, you got a lot going, man.
Bryce, you tell me.
I don't play video games. It's not mine. It's somebody else's though.
Bryce, you telling me your Wi-Fi don't work because somebody in the house playing Fortnite?
Yep, that might contribute to the issue. I'm about to log off and log back in a minute, man. It's been good. It's been good until now.
Dante, man, Lock in the building. Lock, what's good?
Yes, sir. What's up?
Oh man, look who's here.
And here we go.
Got Mark in the building.
We have the man. We have one of the killers that come and recruit our great state of Georgia. We got Coach Larry Dixon in the house. Coach Dixon, what's good?
What's good, fellas? I appreciate y'all having me on today. Having me on.
No doubt.
Coach.
No doubt.
I've been begging Cabral to let me get on. He must have ran out of guys to get on here.
No, sir. No, hey, man.
We said you were coming on. Now we got people from Central Florida talking about, man, we got to put them on.
Hey, man, I got nothing to do with that.
Ooh, Coach McDonough.
No doubt. Hey, man, when you come down here and snatch up a certified goon the way y'all came down here and snatched up a certified goon, now that pretty much solidified y'all spot, man. If y'all hadn't solidified it already, that about did it, Coach.
Well, we got to keep it going, and Coach Gregory's done a great job of not only recruiting for South Florida, but when Georgia Tech he was there, when he was at Dayton. So, the biggest thing is he did an unbelievable job with that goon, and we just got to keep getting goons. We want to stay around in Tampa.
No doubt. No doubt. Well, Coach, man, we're gonna get right into it, man. As you probably are well aware that we don't waste any time. We get right to the pressure. We get right to the issue right away. We don't play around with it. It's smoke.
Hey, just let me just tell you, man. I've watched y'all's last broadcast or whatever, and I was a little afraid to come on today, so I'm a little nervous.
Hey, no, I mean, listen, we can't be held responsible for what the guys in the live chat do because our fans get a little rowdy. They you know what I mean? And Mark Edwards is already in here, so we know how Mark get down.
It's all good. But remind me to tell y'all, because I know y'all talked about Cabral's first trip to Illinois. And I saw y'all talk about that. Remind me to give you my version of it before we get off here.
Yes. Hey, Coach, I just want to know how much was Coach sweating back there on the back of that bus?
Well, he might have been sweating, but he was the only one on there sweating. I thought I had got frostbitten in my feet. It was so cold on that. I might have to sue Cabral because I still have problems in my right foot. It was froze for about an hour.
Hey, Huff, we are definitely on your head later on in the show, Huff.
I know,
that's how we close the show, man.
He already know.
We close the show on your head, my boy. But Coach, man, we want to talk about what you guys are doing, the wonderful job that you guys are doing in South Florida, man. First and foremost, man, congratulations. I know the road is just beginning, far from over for the program that what y'all building, but y'all are doing a fantastic job, man. Like incredible job with building that program. I got to give credit to the university as well for really trying to be a well-rounded athletics program and striving for excellence. You know what I mean? In multiple areas. I mean,
right. I think it's a credit to BG's leadership. He's unbelievable, not only on the court, he can coach his tail off now on the court, but it's off the court is where he excels, and he's got an unbelievable relationship with our guys off the floor, and it's a credit to him. But we got great administrators too. They allow us to do our job, give us everything we need to be successful. So we just got to keep our sleeves rolled up, keep grinding, because this thing is far from over. Got a chance to be good, but we got to put the work in. Got to put the work in, and if you know BG, we gonna work.
No doubt. Talk a little bit about that, man. Like going back to last year's team, you guys break the win record at the university on that side. Not only that, but have the greatest increase in wins from one season to the next season in the NCAA. Hey, Locke, who riding that lawnmower over there by your crib, bro? What's going on?
That's the highway. We'll put it on mute for a minute.
Yeah, but we had a chance to to do that. And we were a young team then. We had freshmen. We had everybody back last year. Injury bug got us a little bit. But I think we were on our way back, and again, our staff does an unbelievable job of preparing these guys day in and day out, so got to give credit to everybody involved.
For sure. I don't know how much winning those guys had done before you guys got there, but to add 14 wins in a single season is incredible. Talk to me about like that process. Like, what are you telling those guys at the beginning? Like, how are you establishing that in a program that hasn't won big before?
Well, when BG first got there, he hired another Georgia guy, Chad Dollar. So they were actually there before I got there. So they were there a whole year. They kind of went through the bumps, but him and Tom Herring and Scott Wade just did an unbelievable job of recruiting and getting the right type of guys in. And then Chad was fortunate enough to move on. And then I was fortunate enough to be brought in, and I was just riding their wave. They put the groundwork, and we're just trying to keep that momentum going. Some tough times that first year, but they never lost focus, and they kept grinding that thing. And I know people say it all the time, it's the process, but truly guys bought in. And now you're starting to see a little bit of it, but we got to keep it going. And that's a sign for Coach Gregory, the stability of it, to keep it going.
No doubt. You guys have a pretty outstanding young man at the guard spot down there, David Collins, man. Y'all give him a lot of freedom to play. What is that development or what that process has been like with that young man?
Well, first of all, I'll say this, off the court, he's an unbelievable kid. So that's what I'll say first. But not only David, but Coach gives all the guys freedom on offense, But the one thing you're going to have to do, and Cabral can attest to this because he had Coach on his one of the coaching clinics, they're going to have to play defense. And David gets a little more freedom because I think he was like second or third in the league in steals, and we had the number one guy in steals. So we had the first and the third guy in the league in steals. So it starts with our defense. Defensively, we're going to be solid, and we're going to make it tough for guys to score. And then offensively, we'll just go play. Coach gives them that freedom, but we're going to make the game ugly, and we're going to beat you up physically because we're going to put our bodies on your defense, and we're going to play hard, and it starts there.
Coach, do you think that's a product because the American Conference is so good too? I don't think people realize how good the conference is. 4 teams with 20 wins, 2 others with 19. You're talking about you got to go to Wichita and face Greg Marshall. You got to go to Houston and face Kevin Sampson. You got to face the ultra talented Memphis teams. You got to go to Tulsa. Like, those are some tough coaches, tough teams.
Well, you guys right there in Atlanta know what a talented coach Ron Hunter is in Tulane. Mm-hmm. So it's no easy nights off. We go to Tulane, we're down, I think, 10 or 12 early. So it's a tough league. And in any league in the country, you're going to have to battle on the road. When you go on the road, it's tough to win. But the American Conference, people talk, and I don't talk about it because I haven't been at, quote, every level, but they talk about high majors. We're a high major league. I mean, Memphis, you had UConn in there. You had Houston. Houston can go anywhere in the country and win. Wichita, go anywhere in the country. And in our league, every school is built off of basketball. Think about the league now. It's a basketball conference that plays football.
For sure.
And make no mistake about it. Football brings money. I'm not saying that. But when you think of UConn, you probably don't think about their football.
Yeah.
Hey, Wichita State don't even have a football team. Houston just got good in football, basketball, Phi Slamma Jamma, South Florida, Tulane, those are basketball schools that, happen to play football. That's how we like to sell it. But, you talk about the league, high major, everybody charters, we got everything you need here in South Florida and in this league to get to the next level. I mean, that's one of the things when kids come on campus, they get a chance to see that. And the city of Tampa now, I'm gonna tell you what now, it ain't bad down here now. It ain't bad.
Are you telling me you taking Tampa over Statesboro?
You know what? I will say this. I love Statesboro. I love Georgia. But I made that transition from Statesboro to Georgia. I mean, from Statesboro, Georgia to Tampa, Florida, a little easier than I did from Charlotte to Statesboro.
Hey, Coach, I love it. Guys normally shy away from saying that when they say that their school is in a fun city where guys can have a good time. Ain't kids supposed to go to college and have some fun, Coach? We know they're gonna work hard on the basketball court, but ain't they supposed to have fun too?
Right, and that's all about being the student athlete, the total student athlete. Sometimes you got to be locked in and be an athlete, but it's other times you be a student. You know, I went to John C. Smith in Charlotte. I had a good time. We won, but you know, I want kids. We want them to experience those things. And I'll tell you what, here in Tampa now, we got pro baseball, got pro football, got pro hockey. We're the team in Tampa, so we're Tampa's basketball team. So it's good for guys to get out and, you know, see the city. Just don't see too much of it.
But you already got comments coming in talking about your Johnson C. Smith days now.
Hey, easy now. We didn't have social media back then.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, yeah, but we like for guys. And we use the city because, I mean, when you know, we got people here that's unbelievable. This team is our program is taking the next step, and they got people. We're starting to get the stands, people coming in the stands. So it's great. We're Tampa's basketball team here in Florida. So, like I said, they got pro everything else. Now we're Tampa's team, and we don't shy away from that. We want our guys to have one academically. We want them to make sure they sound there basketball wise. I want them to have a successful career, but they should explore the city. We got the #1 beach 25, 30 minutes away. Guys like the beach, just not right now.
So speaking of that, Coach, it sounds like based on what the NCAA is saying that schools can go back to working out June 8th. Have you guys made your plans yet? What does that look like at South Florida?
Actually, I think it's June 1, and it's going to be basically individually school by school. And so I think, you know, our school is going to practice safety first. So, you know, I think they're coming up with a plan. But the biggest thing is we got to make sure not only the students, but the staff has to be safe. And that's one of the big things that our athletic director, Mike Kelly's talking about. And he's getting stuff from the president, the scientists, the doctors, and all that. So we're going to make the good decision, the right decision, and we're going to err on the side of caution for the students, you know, safety first. And that's the biggest thing. This basketball, football stuff, that's going to be around. But, you know, all it takes is one person to get sick and spark it up like we talked about earlier. You spark it up. Now we got people on the wrong side, and that ain't good, you know. So we're going to take our time and practice safety.
For sure. I think local news here, we just heard that the Lovett School had a few kids due to like a drive-in graduation ceremony. And then it turns out that a few kids contracted the virus. And they're saying several, but we don't know how many several is.
Right.
But prayers up to those two.
Several can be 10. You just never know.
Right.
Where I come from, several is at least 3 because 2 is a couple and 1 is single.
And really,
I don't know what that means.
Really, 3 is too many. You got to practice, and guys got to understand this. They got to practice safety, you know, because, you know, they talk about the flu killed 80,000 people, whatever, but that was in a year. This thing done killed almost 100,000 people in 3 months. So we got to practice safety, and you know, I know guys, and I talk to our guys all the time. They want to have fun. That's good, and you should, but you got to do it in a respectful and safe manner. You know.
I agree.
During this time, since y'all been away, since y'all stopped, what have y'all staff, y'all been doing with y'all guys?
Well, it's crazy because we were the first conference to cancel the tournament. We were sitting in the locker room, get ready to go play Central Florida in the first round. We had the first game of the tournament, and they pulled BG out and told him it was done. So that was a surreal feeling right there. And then we got back, got a flight back, and guys, we just kind of it was different. We kind of monitored. So then they said we were leaving campus. You know, we were off campus. Everything was online. So we have been checking in with our guys online, Zoom meetings. And our guys did an unbelievable job, finished with over 3.0 as a team. So they took it head on, the challenge, and they were still having study halls, still having tutorial meetings with the academic advisor. They were on time. Our guys did an unbelievable job of just being on Zoom and still getting their work done, taking care of their business. And that's not only a credit to those guys, but our academic staff as well. So we've been having a lot of Zoom meetings. And for us, the coaches, BG sort of gave us a little game plan, you know, to work on ourselves. You know, one, you got to make sure you take time with the family and get to know them, because as coaches, we're gone so much that we're not around the family. So family, making sure they're okay, you know, work on ourselves, condition, physical. I've been pounding that Peloton, Cabral.
Hey, so I just got a text from a coach that told me to ask you, was it kicking your tail now?
It's crushing me right now, but I'm getting there. But you know, taking care of ourselves physically, working on our mental aspect, because when we get back, we're gonna hit the ground running. Make sure we're refreshing our minds, and always trying to get better with your X's and O's, and obviously recruiting never stops. You know, as you can see, I shave today, so you know, you don't recruit every day. It's like shaving at a show. So I shaved. That meant I was recruiting today.
Hey, we got guys on here. Big Dollar Bill.
I see my man Chad Dollar. That's my dude. Now that's my guy.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
He's unbelievable. He helped me a lot. He's a great person. First off, but that's my guy.
Man, no doubt. Love Chad Dollar, man. Great ambassador.
He still owes those tickets though.
Hey, I got nothing to do with that.
He still owes some tickets, Chad.
Hey, since we're talking about Chad, Coach, who were some of those dudes like Chad who really have been influential in your career?
Well, I think the first person I start off with was a guy, you know him, Ben Betts, who was right there with me at Georgia Southern. He gave me my first Division I job. So he's one guy. I talk to him all the time. You can talk Rod Barnes. We talk every day. He's on that Peloton too. But he's been a mentor from a head coach's perspective. And you know what I'm saying? He's been a head coach. He's a head coach that's helped me to try to get to where I want to get to, just bounce stuff off of it. Those guys like that, you know, just it's so many you can't name them all, because you take something from everywhere you go. Randy Peel, he was my head coach at Winthrop, you know, nicest man ever. But you know, he taught me how to grind, you know. So it's a lot of guys I work for, and just being around, you know who your real friends are, and those are the ones that's always trying to help you. And that's one thing I've always learned, especially from Coach Barnes. When you take a step up, try to pull somebody up with you. You got to do that. If you don't do that, you're gonna pass the people that you didn't pull up, you know. And Cabral, you know, I'll make a call for you, or whoever.
Yeah.
Anything I can do to help guys prosper and rise up, because, you know, I didn't go to a big school, so I had to try to grind and scratch my way to where I'm at now, and I needed guys to pull me up. So I'm always trying to, you know, step back and pull somebody up. CY taught me, him talk basketball all the time, you know. And when I first got to Georgia Southern, we actually replaced him. But he was like, man, just talk. Instead of wanting to see us fail or wanting to see me fail, he tried to help me. You know, look, watch for pitfalls like this. So, you know, I respect guys like that, just always trying to help people. And Chad is one of them. You know, like I say, Ben, Rod, all those guys. And I know I'm leaving out a few. It could go on. I'm old, so I know a lot of people.
No doubt. One thing you are no stranger to, and none of those guys are, is recruiting in the state of Georgia. Now they gonna, coach, you keep coming get Georgia guys, man. They gonna put a sign up trying to ban you from the gym. Now you keep coming down here.
Man, you guys got so many kids down there. Everybody, I can get one, can't it? We got one when I was at South Carolina State, when I was at East Carolina, Chad Wynn. We got him from down 7-footer from down there. And then people might not remember this kid, but Reggie Middleton from Augusta, Georgia, helped me get to the NCAA tournament. So I'm always gonna stick my head in Georgia. And then Georgia Southern, when I was at Georgia Southern, I mean, I just absolutely got one that helped us win, and that's Tukey Brown, and Cabral connected me from the spot, and we just took it. We kind of tag teamed and just took it from there. But Tukey Brown's another kid that wasn't really overlooked. But he signed Mississippi State, got out of that, and then people was worried about his size. And I'm gonna just tell you what now, Tukey Brown can go play anywhere in the country, So, and then you got guys like, even when I was at Winthrop, I came and got Gideon Gamble from Westlake. So I mean, it's always kids in Georgia, and they're gonna compete, and they're gonna compete always at a high level. And I respect that, I respect that. And I'm always gonna try to get a kid that plays really, really hard.
No doubt. Coach, is that what you seem to like about Georgia kids? Because y'all got a few on y'all roster right now.
Yeah.
Even the few that say they went to a different school, they really from Georgia.
Yeah. Hey, one thing I tell you what, Mike Durr, he went to prep school, but he still reps Atlanta. He loves Westlake. We got a few. We got Ray Sean. We came in and got Jameer Chaplin from Meadow Creek, and obviously we got another one coming from Georgia. We're gonna try to get 1 or 2 from Georgia every year, and if we can get them out of Atlanta, get them across that border, they're gonna love Tampa.
Is that something that the guys kind of talk about? Do they rally around that in the locker room when you bring a Georgia guy on a visit? Were you able to take your incoming guy and just, hey man, let me go? I know you're real acquainted with Jameer. I know y'all know each other pretty well. You're able to just give them to the other Georgia guys and let them come around.
Yeah, for the most part, and guys, it's funny, and we got kids from all over. Chicago, we got them from France. It doesn't matter. We got them from all over. But that's the one thing about all of our guys. When they come on, when we get a recruit on campus, they work harder than the coaches, and that's a credit to our guys. We got a great group of guys that they bring them in, and now they they have a good time. They like Tampa, they rally around the guys, and that's a credit to our players. They want to. Real players want to play with good players. Sure. You don't want to. If you got a kid that want to be the big fish in a little pond, he probably not going to win for you because he's worried about himself. We want guys that want to play with other guys who want to play with pros. And that's one of the things we talk about. And in our staff room, BG got up there, OKG, and that stands for our kind of guys. And that's what we recruit to, guys that plays hard, but guys that's really good off the court, because all of us got kids, and we don't want to get a phone call at 3 a.m. saying a kid done did something stupid. So we try to recruit good guys. When we go into schools, we ask the secretary, what kind of kid is Cabral? Is he a good kid? Do you see him in this office? And sometimes if that secretary or that janitor gives us a bad report, we'll walk out, because if they treat those people bad, they'll treat us bad. We ask how they treat their moms. We ask all kind of questions, trying to get insight on the kid, because we want good kids, but we want hard playing, tough kids. So when we go to wherever, we can just physically beat them up.
No doubt. We talk about that all the time, Coach. But I think it's important to be said for parents. Parents seem to feel like when a coach walks in the gym and they know the coach is there to see their child, that their child has to score 30 points for that coach to walk away impressed. Tell me about some things, Coach, that you guys are looking for when you walk in the gym to scout a kid. What are some things that kid can do to impress you in that time that you watch it?
We talk about all the time how you can affect the game without scoring a point. So if you're rebounding, if you're making the right read, you may not score, but you're making the assist. You know, you're how you treat your teammates. We watch all that. If you come off the bench, come off the floor, are you jogging to the bench? Are you giving the guys dap, or are you pouting on the bench because you're sitting over there? You know, so we look if they call a foul, how do you react to the referee? You know, you look at all those things, and the one thing is, you see how hard a kid plays, and you can't measure the size of his heart. And that's one thing I'll say, not only for us, but even with Tukey Brown. Tukey Brown had the heart of a lion, and he would compete and he would play hard every game, no matter if he was up 30 or down 30, you couldn't tell. And that's one of the things we look at even here. If a kid is up 20, how is he playing? Is he still playing the right way? You know, so those are things, you know, you don't have to be flashy with it. Get the job done and play the right way, and you'll be fine. But you got to play hard, and you got to treat people the right way.
Oh, Coach, you mean to tell me a kid ain't got to shoot every time and get 30 to walk away with an offer, Coach? That's upset the apple cart, man. They don't think that's how it works.
This is no lie. I brought a kid up to BG, and BG said, that kid shoots every time. I can't have that. So I said, okay, you're right, but he scores it now. BG said, nah, we're not gonna do. So you don't have to, when you shoot all the time, that can hurt you. You know, and then maybe some coaches like that, but that's as an assistant, you got to know who you're working for. BG ain't like BG gonna ask, how did he get down in the stands and move his feet? Did he guard somebody? So yeah, no doubt.
Coach, what's your preference, man? When you go to see a kid, do you have a preference when it comes to watching a kid play AAU versus watching him play with his high school team? Do you have a preference of what environment you like to see a kid in?
You know, it's crazy. I like to see them in all the environments because kids react differently in different environments. Different coaches coach them different. Now, if you got a high school coach that's going to get on their tail, how does he react? Because, you know, sometimes we're going to get on your tail down here in Tampa, you know, or if you playing with better talent with the AAU, how does he play where he doesn't have to be the man? How does he react? Because if you think about it, when you go to college, you're going to everybody that's on that team more than likely was their high school team's best player. So how are you going to handle that and react? Are you going to do something differently to separate yourself to play? You know. And I learned that early on when I was at John C. Smith. I looked around and I saw some dudes that was pretty good. What am I going to do? So I had to learn to play defense if I was going to play. I wasn't getting a lot of shots. But of course, now that I get older, I'm a lot better now than I was in my mind. I was. But you got to separate yourself. You got to do things differently to get on the floor. So when you see them with that AAU team, they're probably playing with better players. How do they react? How do they play? Do they still do what they got to do to get on the floor? And then when you see him with the high school team, how is he being a leader on the floor? So I like to see him in all environments. And even I like to go to practice to see him work out as well, to see their work ethic when people are not in the stands. Because we're going to work down here in South Florida. And so how you work when nobody's in the stands is big as well.
Do you judge them, Coach, based on the high school or AAU coach that they may be playing for? We talk about this, Coach. It's some coaches that don't run a lot of stuff, or it's some coaches, AAU coach, that just, you know, roll out there and just let them go and do whatever. Do you prefer a guy that Locke? Don't start, bro. That's why you on mute, Locke.
I just realized that.
Well, the one thing I'll say is, as a college coach, I think high school coaches, AAU coaches, a lot of times they're a lot smarter than us because they have to coach with what they got, number one. So I say I can tell what I look for is how the kid may fit in our system. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm going to always ask people, not just the high school coaches, not just the AAU coach. I'm going to ask coaches that's coach against him. What do you think about him? Or people that I trust in the area. I'll call and say, hey, what about this kid? Should I even come see him? You know, people I trust. And then, you know, because I was a high school coach. And so I'm always, when I was a high school coach, going to talk my kid up. I'm never going to say anything bad because I want to see the kid be successful. But I was honest with him and with other college coaches and just basically told him, said, hey, this is what it is. This is where I think he can fit. But I was always biased and error helping the kid. So that's why I think you got to have multiple people you're talking to that's seen the kid and is around the kid more so than anybody else, and doesn't have a dog in the fight, so to speak, So at the end of the day, we got to make up our own mind, but I try to get as much information as possible and everybody that's around them and just get different takes. And again, I like to know the family dynamics, how they treat their parents and how they treat other people around them. That's where I start at, because I don't care how talented you are. If you treat your parents bad, you treat your mom bad, what you going to do to me and BG? You're going to probably talk a little trash to us, because if you don't, and your parents, you don't treat them with respect, you could care less about us. They done put a lot more food in your mouth than we would.
Coach, what you think about these short shorts, man? Can we go back to the long shorts, Coach?
Listen to me right now. Mike Durr, y'all's guy, give me a hard time. My suit's too big. My shorts too big. I'm always a big short guy. So I'm telling you right now, I don't like the short shorts. So, my thing is I need length. Let's go back with the Michael Jordan baggy shorts, So me and Mike have a discussion before every game. Coach, that suit too big. I said, I might want to jump and guard you one time. I got to be able to move. These short shorts, you can't move.
I feel like in 2 more years, Coach, they're gonna be wearing Speedos, man. Like it's getting shorter.
It ain't gonna go that far.
Good luck. Hey,
Robbie's be pretty locked.
He's the only one though.
When that happens, I hope I'm waiting on the postman. I'm retired.
They just keep rolling them up and rolling.
Oh my gosh!
Craziest thing I ever seen, Coach.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy. So yeah, we got to keep trying to encourage these guys, get bigger clothes, get bigger shorts.
Definitely bigger shorts, man. Now they want the jerseys to be tight and all that stuff.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy. One thing about it though, I kind of like it because I can go in the equipment room and get all the big T-shirts and the shorts. I'm good. All the gear. I can get the gear.
Hey, they don't know what it is, Coach, to have to fight over one 2XL, only one 2X for the whole team, Coach. Everybody got to fight.
Hey, so that's either when the seniority kick in or the best player who gonna score the most points.
Mondre, the 6'6" kids nowadays are fighting over the mediums.
Yeah. The mediums. Hey, they fighting over medium shorts.
For real.
Nah, seriously, they're really fighting over I'm dead serious. Like, yo.
Hey, Bryce, you gotta tell them, look, all we got is larges and extra large. What you want?
They might say they ain't gonna play.
They might not. Like,
damn, that'll help me. If they don't want to play because of shorts, that's just telling you something right there.
And they want the number 2. They don't want you gotta give them no big jersey.
Yeah.
Big. It's not gonna happen. They're gonna roll it up still.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Coach, I've been ordering AAU uniforms for a long time, and this is the first time I ever had to order a bunch of mediums. For the first time ever, Coach, I had to order an extra small jersey. For the first time,
when we have team camp and elite camp, the smalls and mediums get gone before the larges and extra large. They get mad because we run out and we got to get them large.
Andre, have you ever put on your old shorts and been like, you might go hoop or something? You're like, damn, these are kind of heavy on my leg, kind of big. They're kind of baggy. I don't understand where they're coming from. Like,
no, Bryce, them shorts are supposed to Jordan shorts. They're supposed to my knee, Bryce.
Jordan shorts from wherever you got them from, they are.
Oh, they mad.
Oh yeah, those are baggy.
Yeah. They're super heavy shorts.
Hey, them Jordan shorts are kulaks, Bryce. Those are kulaks, bro.
They super heavy. So I don't really blame them too much. It's just like you trying to, you want to feel like you're not being restricted a little bit.
Hey man,
Bryce, I ain't buying that.
A player can play in anything, Bryce.
I'm gonna say this though, Bryce.
Like I've gone back and put on my old shorts. Like I put on Jordan shorts that I probably bought a couple years ago. Like, damn, why are these shorts so big?
Hey, Bryce, you ain't gotten old enough. I put my shorts on and say, how can I get out of these shorts?
Hey, Mondre had that same problem.
Hey, so Bryce, you ain't old enough yet, Bryce. You ain't old enough yet.
Hey, I'll be giving my shorts to Goodwill. I'm like, yo, these shorts are way too.
Man,
I can't even run in these shorts. I can't jog good in these things. If they pass your kneecaps, they too big.
No, sir.
Oh.
No, sir.
no.
How many buckets Allen Iverson got his shorts all the way down to his shins, bro?
AI's an exception.
Hey,
AI's
Bryce, you come to our practice, my shorts below my knees now.
You only seen ankles.
Hey, but here's the crazy thing, Bryce, and I don't know if you from this era or not, but we used to wear them same shorts under our jeans, bro.
Yeah. I did that.
In the air, yeah, we did that.
Yeah, I did that. But the shorts we wore under the jeans were specifically smaller, so they could fit under our jeans, though. They weren't huge shorts. You know what I'm saying? We couldn't throw on some huge shorts that could fit under our jeans all day.
Shit, I had the Jordan shorts up under my jeans, bro, with the starch on the crease, dog.
That was
You had to add the shorts under the jeans.
hey, Mark Edwards know what time it is. Look,
Hey, Mark Edwards be wearing them baggy shorts.
he do with that backpack.
Yeah.
Hey, I gotta have the baggy shorts, man. I can't do it.
Hey, man, you never know. You had to wear shorts up under your jeans. You never knew when the game was gonna jump off, dog.
You stay after school and definitely get it pop after school for sure. You had to be used to your shorts.
These kids nowadays, they can't play unless they got a bag, they extra bag with them. They gotta have all this extra shit. I can't play without my arm sleeve, coach.
I had some kids ask me this year before all the COVID stuff jumped off. I had some kids ask me like if we was gonna get like matching team bags and matching shoes. I'm like, bro,
17U team.
I'm like, it's 17U. You just show up. Bring yourself. Just bring yourself in a water bottle. I'm not providing no backpacks. Nothing.
Be ready to ball. That's all you can do. Be ready to ball.
Hey, coach, let me ask you this, man. Have you ever walked into a gym and knew that a kid couldn't play just because he had on too much gear? Double arm sleeve, leg sleeve, tights. You're just walking.
Man.
I'm gonna be honest. I was gonna put a little more pressure on him if he dressed down like that. He tight like that. I'm gonna put a little more pressure. He better be a bad mofo now. Yeah, he better be bad if he got all that now. You know, I'd rather have a guy with a cutoff shirt just going out there hooping. Let's go. Let's throw the ball up. You know, so that means they love it and they don't care what they look like. So I'd rather have those the gyms I like to go in and see.
That's facts. Yeah. If I see you change shoes at halftime, kids change the shoes at halftime now, coach.
It ain't the shoes that reason you 0 for 9 in the first half. Those shoes ain't got nothing to do with that right there. Yeah, it ain't got nothing to do with that.
Hey man. They y'all don't know nothing about that though. Double rims. These kids ain't played on double rims outside with the chain nets.
When that jump shot sweet,
we always say that there are kids doing that. They're just not good. It's for real.
That's true.
Because I go to the park and just sit there.
The good kids are on video.
The kids out there playing, they're just not good. So the good kids are not playing.
I never seen no kids in the park. What park?
I was about to say, what park are you going to that actually got basketball goals up? Because I ain't seen one.
Hey, let me just say this:
Hey,
lock in the street, lock in the street, lock in the street. Tell them lock you in the streets. They don't know.
They don't know.
Yeah, hey, like you are a certified street representative, dog. I ain't got on the streets like you, dog. Certified, Lock.
You about to throw with the street cred, Lock.
Hey, I went out with Lock one time, and I swear we went from like 4 different places in within 45 minutes. it was about 1 o'clock. I'm like, yo, Lock, I can't do it no more, bro. I got to go. I'm hollering.
We out. We got to stay out.
Hey, Lock, after quarantine, baby, I'm coming out, Lock. What time is it, dog? I'm coming out after quarantine, dog.
Hey, you better make sure you sleep for about a whole day before you go.
Get your rest.
Hey, that man would never throw in the towel. You ever see the dude, you hang out with the dude and he just never want to throw in the towel, like the night's never over with? That's why I'm ready to go home, bro.
The mission hasn't been accomplished.
Sometimes you got to throw that towel in the little side of the day.
Hey, Lock, you just ain't met the right dude. You ain't met the right drinking partner that'll make you throw that towel in.
Hey, Cabral, you done met that right dude, ain't you?
Hey, you just say, I'm done. And then the next time you call somebody and say, if he coming with us, I ain't going, bro.
Oh my gosh, Cabral, you're a funny dude, man. You're a funny dude.
Y'all gotta know how to roll with Lock, man. You gotta take timeouts, dog. With Lock like a team that press a lot, dog. You gotta know how to use your timeout, dog.
Hey, Dre, let me just tell you this, Dre. All jokes aside, Cabral got a dude that'll run with Lock, and he'll make Lock throw that towel in.
Like you'll be trying to get away from him. Like, I'm not.
Oh, I already know. I haven't been out with him. I'm scared to. I already know who you talking about.
Oh my God.
I'm not ready for that.
Hey, y'all wild. Hey, Tori talking about the struggle of wearing shorts under jeans were the same ones that went swimming in basketball shorts. Tori, I've never owned swim trunks in my life. What are you talking about?
My basketball shorts are tight underneath.
I'll go to the beach in basketball shorts right now. It's the only way.
I'm with you, Dre.
Hey, Dre can't get in them parties, Lock. They say you gotta have legitimate swimwear, no basketball shorts.
You can't go to pool parties in Vegas.
Yeah,
they don't let you in.
Vegas not letting you in.
Nah, they don't let
Dre,
you in.
They might have a goal in the pool. They might have a goal in the pool. You gotta be ready.
Yeah. I ain't got no coach.
Dre gonna be looking over the fence.
He's gonna be standing on the strip. I'm like, what's going on up there?
Hey, I'm like, what's up, Dre?
Hey, where I grew up, basketball shorts was basketball shorts. Basketball shorts was to cut grass in. Basketball shorts was pajamas. Like, I don't understand what y'all talking about. Swim trunks. Basketball shorts was for everything. Y'all understand.
That's true.
True.
Swim trunks. I ain't never had a pair. Why?
You said I never had a pair.
No, never.
Hey,
Coach, we got to congratulate. We mentioned that y'all had a killer coach coming, but we may have people listening who ain't in the know, who don't know about the killer that y'all got coming. So we gotta do it right. Hoodwear, you already know. Represent. Hey, Tori's wild. Shawnee parked at the Dirt Bowl. Hey, Tori, don't let them know about that, dog. They may not already know about, you know what I'm saying, how that go. Shout out to the Dirt Bowl, man. Until somebody starts shooting and shut it down.
Where's the Dirt Bowl at?
Somewhere in Kentucky, bro. Let's just leave it alone.
Oh, yeah. We good.
Right, sometimes it's good to just be quiet, man.
The Dirt Bowl is like Rucker Park, dog. The Dirt Bowl is like
stop. Don't you ever compare that to Rucker Park.
Hey, Lock. Hey, Huff. Do your Googles. Do your Googles now.
Google it now.
Do your Googles.
Tori, is it like Rucker Park? I need you to put it in the comments, Tori.
We got pros. It's pros hooping at the Dirt Bowl. Yes.
Mark, that was about to get on your head in a minute for saying that now.
Mark no. Mark no.
New York.
We got
Tori
pros.
said yes.
Yeah. Thank you. It's some killers out here to know. Yeah, do your Googles. do your Googles.
I'm doing it right now.
But you comparing Derek Anderson to who? Let's be real.
Damn.
Daryl Griffin, Artis Gilmore. We can go all the way back. Artis Gilmore, like everybody that Dwayne Morton, DeJuan Weed, like the dirt boat for a while until the violence and drugs.
You naming a few names, but Rucker Park gonna still get you with names, dog.
So I'm not saying that we're better than Rucker. I would never say that. I'm giving people who
is it better than run and shoot?
I'm giving people.
Is it better than run and shoot?
It's outside. It's not 20.
I ain't talking about being outside. Talent that comes through the door, is it better than run and shoot?
I don't know everybody that's been. I can't say that. Run and shoot is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, non-stop. Like we're talking about.
If you were anybody playing basketball in the city of Atlanta or further, you were coming through run and shoot.
Rondo, if you ever came through Louisville, Kentucky, but until the shooting started breaking out, up until the point that No Limit released their first record, the Dirt Bowl was where it was at. After Rucker Park Midwest, no doubt.
All right, Mark Edwards said, and 1-2 came through there and said a crowd.
Yes, I was there. Dirt Bowl is, hey, bro, that's not disrespect just because it's in Louisville, like Louisville ain't have hoopers. Come out in 1990 and watch.
He said his facts too. E. Sully on here said his facts.
Hey, E. Sully, that's my man. E. Sully.
I'm trying to tell him I don't tell no lies about this Louisville basketball history, dog. Y'all don't understand, dog.
Hey, now you one thing you know, E. Sully a little biased now. That Louisville basketball, he a little biased now.
We just try to educate, dog. Humbly, you know what I'm saying? We try to humbly educate, let y'all know what it is. You know.
Thank you, people just
hey, Mark ain't lied about that. You couldn't tell me no restaurants outside the hood.
Hey, one thing I know about Louisville, they had a little time on that first 48.
I knew you were about to say it.
Hey, you know I'm on that first 48 now.
Hey, yeah, we did. We had our, you know what I'm saying? We had a run on first 48 for about 5-6 years. You know what I'm saying? You know.
Hey, I got the text, East Sully. I'm learning something. Y'all put me on the Dirt Bowl. I'm learning.
Hey man, you know what I'm saying? It took. It took Coach Sullivan to tell you that, because they ain't gonna take it from me, Coach. That's
I can't take it from you. I can't take it from you.
Dang, Dre, that says a lot, man.
Wow, why you gonna do that?
You know. Hey, dog, y'all ain't gonna just know my city by first 48. Now we gonna start.
Hey, one thing Huff will tell you now, I associate cities by that first 48. Whether my antennas go up when I go to certain places.
We went to Little Rock. We went to Little Rock to play. He goes, man, we can't be out here, man. We can't even go out to eat. They on that first 48. They're taking it here in Little Rock.
Hey, those one of the first ones.
Hey, so I'm gonna give y'all a quick history lesson too. The violence in Louisville was Little Rock's fault.
Wow.
Let me talk to the crowd that's old enough. If y'all remember when HBO put out Banging in Little Rock, changed my city.
I told Huff that.
Yeah, he did.
The show Banging in Little Rock changed my city forever. I was in middle school, dog, in the 6th grade, dog.
Bryce has no clue what we're talking about. Bryce has no clue.
Me either. I'm listening. I'm just listening. Yeah, I'm lost.
Go YouTube Banging in Little Rock.
Banging in Little Rock.
I got 2 things: the Dirt Bowl and Banging in Little Rock. Whatever y'all talking about. I got 2 things to look up. I'm about to look it up.
Yeah, you better watch out for Tulsa too now. Yeah.
Birmingham.
Yeah. And stop trip, Dave. You was safe when you was with me. We was safe, 100%.
Locke said he went to that chicken joint and it was all behind glass. He said he didn't know how to react.
Couldn't take my mama there.
Oh my gosh.
No, Juke, you wasn't the only one, bro. Changed my city forever, dog.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Google, dog. Banging in Little Rock. Y'all wild, bro. I always forget how old I am, man. I feel like a young dude until I be talking to y'all, man. Now I feel old.
Mondre said 6th grade. This gotta be.
I said, yeah. What year were you in 6th grade?
Let's see. My freshman year in high school was 94.
Oof.
So
I didn't know you were young. So I'm really the old man on the show then. Damn.
I've been telling you was old, Huff. You old news, bro. Ancient, dog.
You know you the OG on the show.
I'm glad you said OG instead of old man. Coach Dixon, I do want to bring up something. You know, obviously we've had a lot of coaches on here, and they talked about that the struggle of African American coaches in the business, and trying to move up, being labeled as recruiters. What's your take on that?
Well, it's that goes to individually because it goes to who you work for. Some coaches don't respect us, and they think we can do is recruit. That's why I'm fortunate to work for a guy that he gives me a lot of things in terms of working with, preparing me to be a head coach. You know, whether it's scouting reports, whether it's working guys out. You know, he asks all of us on the staff our opinions when now ultimately the decision is up to BG, but he wants us to give input. He wants us to think like a head coach because he says all the time, we're going to run our own program. So I think it's individually who you work for. And if you work for a guy that only thinks you can recruit, doesn't give you a chance to do scouting reports or doesn't ask your input, you probably need to look, if your goal is to be a head coach, you probably need to look at working for somebody else because he really don't care about you. He's just using you. That's why, like I say, my guy, he's one of the best out there. He's preparing us to be a head coach. He helps me in a lot of ways. And if you know, he's the kind of guy, if you want something, he'll try to help you get it, you know, because he wants to see you be successful. And I think, like I said, I think it's individually. And that's one of the things I try to do, not only African American coaches, all young coaches in general. I always talk about the family life. Because the time, if you're going to be good at this, it's going to take time away from your family, you know. And then I always talk about working for the right people. And then as you take a step up, you know, I think you got to try to pull somebody up with you every time. And I talk about that all the time, you know, because I had my first college job was a Division II job. I took a $26,000 pay cut to get into college basketball. My mom told me, you must be a fool to do that because you're a high school teacher, coach. You're going to always have that job. I said, well, Mom, the Lord take care of babies and fools. And it's a long time since I had a pacifier in my mouth. I'm going to believe in myself and I'm going to keep the faith. So I took a $26,000 pay cut. And then I was able to move from that, you know, but I had to have people to help me, talk for me, to help, you know, to help me get to where I'm at now. But I think the biggest thing is you got to educate the young coaches in this deal. One, how to carry yourself, you know, who you're working for is very, very important, you know. And then when you do make a move, try to pull somebody up with you, try to help somebody else get a job, you know. I think that's huge. I think as African-American coaches, we got to try to do that. We got to do a better job of trying to help each other instead of maybe trying to tear us down or be jealous of each other. You know, if my guy gets a job, I'm happy for him. I'm excited for him, you know, and it's just not African-American coaches. The type person, you got to be happy for anybody because, you know, and it's diversity across the board. But we got to really try to do a great job of helping each other, you know. So we gotta continue to help each other and get better at doing that, you know. And it's okay to call and ask for help if you trust that person, you know. And Cabral, you know me, one of the things I'm always trying to help, or if I can't help, try to help you put the piece to the puzzle together, because it's all about, you know, putting this puzzle together and again, getting with the right guy. BG, he's unbelievable in trying to prepare me to be a head coach. And I think I'm almost ready, and he's helping me get over that hump. So again, it's all about who you work for. You know, that's big. That's big, because some guys will try to label you as just a recruiter and don't want you to do anything else. And you got to show people that look, I'm not just a recruiter, I can coach. You know, I think and Cabral used to laugh at me. I think I'm the best coach in America, but I got to have that confidence in myself, because if I don't, how can y'all have that confidence in me? You know what I'm saying? And so you got to be well-rounded. You can't be just a recruiter. You got to be able to do X's and O's. You got to be able to do scouting reports. You got to be able to relate and be able to communicate with the administration, because that's a big thing. You know, I pride myself on, I can go talk to the president of the United States and then go back to the house, to my crib, and talk to some of my boys that didn't make it out of there. I think you got to be able to be versatile like that, because you got to be able to communicate and educate and be around different people in this thing. And, you know, I think that's one of my strong points. I can do that, I feel.
We got a lot of advice from coaches that came on here about how do you get to that next level of becoming a head coach. I remember Chad Dollar saying that every morning, for the first hour or so of his morning, he works for Chad Dollar University, where he's in the mirror drawing up plays, making sure that when he becomes a head coach, he's prepared. We've had other coaches come on talking about the importance of talking to the assistant ADs and making sure they get a chance to know everybody in the building. What advice would you give? We got a lot of guys who want to be head coaches, assistant coaches that watch. What would be your advice of different things that they can do to make sure that they prepare for that next jump?
I think you got to do a self-evaluation of yourself and be honest with yourself. That's number one. What do I need to get better at? Okay. What do I need to get stronger at? Where am I weak? And where is it that they can tell me no? You know, that's one of the things. I'm always evaluate myself. If I'm sitting in BG's chair, what am I going to do in this situation? May not be right, may be wrong. I don't know. But I'm going to tell him, and I'm going to tell myself what I think I would do. The next thing, and this is probably going to sound crazy, when we on this road, a lot of times we might be driving. People beside me in the car probably are looking at me saying, this dude crazy. He talking to himself. But a lot of times, at least 2 or 3 times a week, I interview myself. I'm thinking of 3 or 4 questions that they might ask me. How am I going to answer this? And I'm talking it out in the car. You know, it's a lot of times I might be singing with Jeezy, but sometimes I'm not. I'm interviewing myself. You know what I'm saying? So that's my thing. I'm always trying to think, what can they tell me or what can they ask me that'll stump me? You know, if I'm going for this job or if I'm going for that job. So I think, you always got to self-evaluate yourself. You know, and you got to keep, while you're trying to get to that next step, you got to keep working your tail off for the man that's paying you right now, your head coach. You know, so I think you got to be able to juggle 2 things at one time, you know, and I may not do it every day like Chad does work for me, but in turn, I am working because I'm working my tail off for BG. So he can never say, well, he didn't work hard because he was worried about this job. You know what I'm saying? Or he didn't do this because I'm always trying to give him 100%. So I am working for me, and guys do it different. Chad just work this way. I try to do it this way. And anytime I meet somebody else new, whether they're at Young Harris AD or North Carolina AD, I drop them a note. Just say, hey, great meeting you. If it's an assistant at Division II school, I was a Division II coach. I'm writing them. Hey, here's my card. If you need anything, call me. If anything I can help you with, you know. So I think all those things help, because a lot of people you meet may not be ADs then, but they might be in the future. You never know who you're gonna meet. So, and it doesn't take but one AD to like you, and now you got a job. Now, once you get that job, you got to boom. You got to take that thing and run with it. You know, you might only get one opportunity. You know, so I'm always preparing myself, because you never know when that time's gonna come.
We got a great question from our live chat. It's not often that we get questions that I've never heard anybody ask before, but Tori asked a great question. He's asking who all is in the interview when applying for a head coaching job in college. Tori, I have no idea.
Well, I think one of the things, sometimes they have a committee. You know, sometimes it's the search firms. You got to interview with them before they pass your name on. So, I mean, it's different. Each job, you got to find out the dynamics. One, it's just like recruiting. Who's going to be the decision maker? Is it going to be the AD? Is it going to be the president? Is it going to be the search firm? You don't know. So that's the first thing. Like when we're recruiting kids, the first thing we got to find out if we like the kid, want to get the kid, is who's the decision maker. And that's when you're trying to get a job. And that, I'm going to be honest, it ain't just college. It's any job. Who's the decision maker? Because if you're interviewing for a job, you'll probably want that job. So you better find out who's making the decision. And then once that, then you start recruiting them. You start talking, communicating. And then a lot of times you communicate with the people that know them, you know. So that's kind of, it's different. It's different. Sometimes it's just the AD. Sometimes it's a search committee. Sometimes it's a president. Sometimes, again, it's the search firm. Sometimes you got to go through the search firm to get to the AD, you know. So, you know, it's just different. Some ADs handle their own business, and some of them want to go through the search firm, you know. So, and then sometimes the president is the one that's going to make the decision. But now you got to recruit all of the AD, the search firm to get to the president, you know. So you just got to decide, and you got to do your homework. And one of the things I always do in any job, I'm going to research the situation, the people around it. What kind of people are they? You know, that's the one thing. And I talked with Chad unbelievably a lot. And I talked to other people. When I was trying to get South Florida, I was asking, how is BG? What kind of guy is he? What kind of people are the staff? Can you win at South Florida? I want to know all them things because sometimes we may only get one shot. Again, you better take advantage of it, and you better have good people around you to help you be successful. And that's the one thing that hit home with me right fast and hurry is BG is an unbelievable guy, and he has unbelievable people around him, and administration is the same way. So that's why I wanted to be a part of South Florida, because I had did my homework and I knew who the decision makers was, and I, you know, trying to recruited them. So you got to know who that decision maker. That's the biggest thing.
I'm gonna ask a question that it just popped into my head. Dealing with search firms, I just found out this year that coaches have agents. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Hey, hold on. This is why we don't send you players.
Here, like, name 5 agents. Name 5.
I don't have to name them.
I know Osgo Coral, Sharif Cooper dad an agent. There you go. That's one right there.
Trinity agent. Hey, this is why we don't see players.
There we go.
Madre, how did you not know that though? For real.
That college basketball players or college coaches have agents?
Yeah, you didn't know.
Why would I think that they have agents?
Well, one of the things, Dre, you got to know is those contracts. You better have somebody that know how to deal with contracts when you get to, because nowadays, if they want to run you off, they don't want to pay that money. You know, you got to make sure that your agent or your lawyer, whoever, they got their contract ironclad, that they can't just run you off and not pay you. If you're gonna run me off, pay me, because you might, you know, you better know.
But LD, not only that, I mean, as assistants, how is it for you guys when you're dealing with contracts and knowing what's good, what you're going to get out of it? How important is that?
Well, a lot of times, the assistant contracts a little more standard. You know, you're gonna get this. So you don't really need them to look at the contract. Sometimes your agent as assistant may have a head guy over here that's getting a job. He may be able to link you into that job. So that's how he may help you from an assistant standpoint. But pretty much a lot of times, and not all the time, but a lot of times, you're going to have a pretty standard contract. You know, you get to the term, you're going to get this. You know, you graduate this, you get this. You know, you're going to get a car, you may not. I don't know, but different contracts. But for the most part, as assistants, you're going to have a standard contract. You know, sometimes, you know, them high level dudes, they might have some specifics in that is pretty good. I ain't at that level yet. I'm standard.
No, that's great. What popped into my mind, coach, is when you start talking about the search firms, and it seems like sometimes that can be such a problem for African-American coaches to get through those search firms to even get to the decision maker. Is that I assume that that's where an agent may be able to come in, because maybe the agent has a better relationship with those search firms. I don't know.
Right, and that's where they can come in and help you, especially as a assistant. They can get your name, get you plugged through there through the search firm and those type things. So yeah, they're definitely, agents are definitely important now in different situations.
Maybe we need an agent, Huff.
Hey, you didn't know. Hey, I thought Cabral already had an agent. He big time. He been big time.
He probably do. He just ain't said that yet.
Hey, I have to go. I'm about to have to call his people to get him on the phone.
I've got an agent.
I call it secretary.
He got a director of operations. He got all that.
Hey, man. See, there you go.
He got a GM to clear some roster space.
Hey, roster space is very important.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Hey, Huff, what's the buyout, bro?
Huh? I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
Hey, Huff got a buyout. That's wild. But no, that's really interesting to me, man. I had no idea.
And I tell you what else, and I just thought about this when, especially head coaches, one of the reasons they have agents is because a lot of universities have lawyers. And so you don't want to be dealing with a lawyer and you're not a lawyer, because you're going to get caught up, and they're working for the university. So it's probably best to have a lawyer going against a lawyer representing when you're trying to iron out all the details and all that type stuff within your contract. So, that's another reason that it's pretty important,
That's good stuff, Coach. And I like to ask this for all coaches that assistants that come on. We talk about being a head coach. Being named head coach means you are now the CEO of a program. We understand that, all coaches are going to get better every year. Like, they're going to get better. But what do you feel like coming in right away when you get your opportunity as a head coach? We naming that now. We feeling like that's going to happen. We call it naming.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
When you get your opportunity to be a head coach, what do you feel like you bring to the table day one immediately?
Well, I think the number one thing I bring is somebody that's genuine. I'm gonna keep it real, not only with the administration, but I'm gonna keep it real with recruits and players. I think I can definitely bring kids in that's gonna have an unbelievable work ethic. They're gonna represent the university in the right situation, the right way. And then one thing I'm gonna put together is a hell of a staff, of guys that's gonna work, because I think a head coach is only as good as his staff, because his staff, head coach cannot do it all, so you got to have an incredible staff to be able to be successful. And that's the number one thing I think, because I'm gonna put together guys that I know that work. Because when I'm out here recruiting, I'm always recruiting and watching, but I watch guys how they work. And, I know who works hard. I know who can get players. I know who can relate and coach guys, and not only coach them on the floor, but can coach them off the floor as well. And I think that's very, very important. We got to be role models on and off the floor. And I think I'm going to do that, and my staff would do that. So, and I think I can coach. And the biggest thing is, because I was a high school teacher, I taught students with learning disabilities. I equate that as being a coach on the floor. You got to teach kids different ways. Some kids, you can get on them and coach them that way. Some kids you can't. Some kids you might have to show film and they might get it. Some kids you might have to take. And I think my ability to teach kids with learning disabilities, because you have to find different creative ways to teach them and get them to the point, have to get different kids to the same point. I think that helps me when I'm able to relate and teach kids and get them to the same point. And that's winning, so the ability to relate to the kids, talk to the kids, communicate, and get them to where we need to get to, I think is a big, big strength of mine, so you know, I think I got a lot of qualities, and I'm not on here trying to sell myself, but you asked the question, and I think I can definitely do that, and I will do it here in the future.
No doubt, no doubt. Another question: what's the skill development like at the University of South Florida?
Oh my gosh, it's unbelievable. We have our guys get better. You know, they get better. We have a time 2 or 3 times a day where we have pro time. Guys want to be pros, come in and get 45 minutes of shooting on your own. You know, and whether the coach is in there shooting with them or GA, or they just come in and get a gun. If you want to be a pro, you know, there'll be a lot of coaches, a lot of people say, I'm going to make you a pro. You can't make nobody a pro. You can try to show them and give them the tools to do it, but guys got to want to be pro. So we give them pro time where you can come in and get time up. And so what Coach Gregory does is he shortened practice to allow guys to come in and get pro time 3 or 4 times a week. So it don't go over the NCAA rules, so we don't get in no trouble in that. but we're gonna bring guys in. They're gonna work. They're gonna get shots up. If they got a weakness, ball handling, we work on ball handling. You know, we work on ball handling every day, 1 through 5, because the way we play, our guys got to be able to pass and maybe dribble handoff and stuff like that. So we bring guys in. Again, it's called pro time, 30 to 45 minutes a day. And that's when they have a chance to be selfish and work on their game. And coach talks about being selfish individually when it's that time, not when it's during the team time, you know. So that's a good thing. And a lot of times what we'll do is we'll take a quote, 2-star, 3-star, okay? And we're going to go make them a 4 or 5-star. LaQuincy Rideau, who's defensive player of the year, he goes in and was transferred from Gardner Webb, comes in first team all league, one of the best guards in the league, led the league in steals and assists, you know. But that's by him working every day, getting better, you know. And that's him right there putting that ball on. And that's one thing we'll do right there is you see offensively, we're attacking that glass.
For sure.
But we're again, like I told you earlier, we're just tough. We're going to be physical. We want to make the game ugly because defensively, we're going to get after you. We're going to pound that glass and we're going to just get after you. And that's a trait of a Brian Gregory team. It's going to be a tough defensive-minded team that when that ball goes up on the glass, we're going to go get it.
I definitely enjoy watching you guys play, man. Coach, you're everybody. What I liked was the sense of urgency and aggression with your team, man. If a team playing y'all, if they can't defend the rim, boy, y'all gonna give them a long night if you can't defend that rim playing against you guys. Right.
And one thing we're gonna do defense, we're gonna make sure you take tough contested shots. And son, you say you enjoy watching some games. I'm not sure I do, but as long as we're at the end of the day, we come out with the win. That's all that matters.
No doubt. Hey, Coach Dollar, I got you, big dog. We're gonna show some UGA film, man. I got you, Coach.
We gotta get our tickets first.
Tell Chad I'm leading the way. We'll get the UGA video when I'm gone.
Andre, we gotta get our tickets first.
Hey, that's right. Hey, lock. Hold him hostage until you get your tickets. You can't get no video.
Coach, lock holding your film hostage, man. He locked it up. Hey, let's go ahead and talk about it. We got guys. They referring to him as that boy from Grayson, but let's let everybody know, man. Let's go ahead and celebrate one of your incoming guys for the class of 2020. Let me get your video up on the screen, man. We're gonna share and we're gonna
to answer Mark's question. Yeah, we're gonna let him push that ball. The first thing is gonna start, and I tell you what, he's gonna do a great job, I think, of replacing LaQuincy just because he has an unbelievable ability to guard, and we're excited about him. And he's the best thing about him too. He's an unbelievable kid off the floor, and he fits. It's the way we play. So had a great year with Coach Pierce this year with Grayson, you know, and it all started last summer with the Atlanta Celtics. So him and Davion, they had a hell of and Tanari, they were pretty good.
Very good. Shout out to Ultra Films for the tape. Don't come back and sue me, big dog. We're just trying to show love.
Coach, y'all ain't gonna make him cut his hair, are y'all?
No. That's Coach. That's one of the things about Coach Gregory. He lets kids be who they are. If that's what he wants to do, hey, and if he can come and play like he did for Grayson and Atlanta Celtics, he can wear them shorts, look small as he wants. He already told me he wants them small. So hey, as long as he plays like that for us, we'll be fine.
Just a tremendously talented young man. Very athletic, long, has developed a consistent jump shot, man. Like, he really shot the ball a lot better.
Yeah, and that's one of the things we talked about with him. The day he committed to us, we started coaching him, you know, and just talking, how can you improve your game? And that's one of the things he said he wanted to do is really improve his jump shot. And that's what he's done. And he'll get better with it, especially once we get him. He gets some pro time in and get that jump shot, get it consistent, because it's not broke. It's not broke. He definitely can make jump shots, and he's going to be fine for us.
100%, Coach. That's a great get for you guys, man. A great kid, one of the best in our city. And you talk about that pro time, Coach. I don't know. You know, I'm not the professional on here, man. So I don't know if it's 1 year, 2 years, 4 years. I don't know. But that kid certainly moved like a pro to me.
Yeah. And if I don't care if he goes early, that means he done had a hell of a career for us, and we won a few games. So you know, but the biggest thing is we're gonna work on him. We're gonna work on him getting a degree. Because that's what all kids, coach tells them all the time. If getting a degree is not important, then you shouldn't come to South Florida. And BG's is over academics. So and again, that's the piece I'm talking about that you don't see a lot from head coaches you get from BG is academics is important to him now. Every kid that's come, that's played for him, has finished their eligibility form, has graduated. So it's important. You know, and if he's fortunate enough to leave early, we're going to still pay for him to finish in the summer to get that degree, because, you know, and we all know once that ball starts bouncing, he's got to find something to do. He'll still be a young man. So we want to make sure he gets a degree, a South Florida degree. And Chad knows this, top 50 in the country academically. So I'm gonna put that plug in academically for South Florida, but I think he has a chance. He's got some work and he's got to get better in some areas, and we'll help him get there. But the one thing about the kid is he'll work, and he loves basketball. So that's the one thing. I don't think we'll have a problem getting him in the gym. So, you know, we'll see. And then we know too, to be a pro now, you got to have some breaks, got to be a little lucky. Yeah. And I think he can do it. I do, but. You know, he just got to keep his head down, stay prayed up, and just keep grinding this thing out.
I don't like to throw that pro word around too much. Number one, because that's not my place.
Right.
But number two, because killing in college is dope. And I feel like a lot of times we follow a kid and we hype a kid and we praise a kid all the way up until the point where he goes to school, and then it's like we completely forget about him. But developing and being a great college player is very important, Coach. I feel like we don't talk about it enough.
And that's the one thing I'll tell you. We're not going to let y'all forget any of them, because we got enough Georgia kids on the roster. We going to keep reminding y'all. We recruit Georgia. We got Georgia kids. We're going to keep trying to come get them. So, yeah.
So, Coach, tell us about that development of Jameer Chapman.
Jameer came in, and Jameer's a hard-playing kid, super athletic. He has to learn. Well, he had to learn. He's learned it now. He's matured so much off the floor. You know, that's the one thing he's worked on. It's his maturity standpoint. He's gotten better. He's shooting the ball better. But again, he had to start coming in, getting his 30 to 45 minutes, and he had to understand. And freshmen, let me just tell you, it's hard on freshmen to come in with the rigors of practice. I'm gonna say probably by December, they probably had more practices and workouts than they had the entire high school senior year, because you go 2 days, you go work individual workouts, you got practice, then you got study hall. So it took him a little bit of time to get his legs under him. But I think he's going to be pretty good for us because he's athletic, he's a tough, and he helped us win some games this year. When we had some injuries, he came in and gave us a spark and played well, just had a guy 2 in front of him. But we're expecting some things for him a little bit more this year. And I think the thing about him is he's a year older, he's matured, and I think he'll be ready to go because he's a humble, hungry kid. And he works his tail off. So I think he's going to be really, really good for us.
Coach, I feel like we've allowed the success of a few to deter some other guys. Like you have some guys that come in and right away that freshman year they're successful. And then some kind of way we allowed the success of a few guys to almost make other guys where it takes them 2 years, 3 years, 4 years to become the player that they're going to be. It's like that's some sort of knock or like most guys ain't ready to play as a freshman.
Right. You got to think about it's hard for freshmen. One, they're coming in playing with guys that's been in that weight room 2 or 3 years, and you ain't been in that weight room like we're in that weight room. So it's hard for freshmen. And a lot of times, and I used to say this all the time, when a freshman comes in and dominates or makes a statement, one, you might have stole one, or two, your team may not be very good, So, you got to give freshmen time. And again, you said it, hit the nail right on the head. The thing about it is people put so much pressure on freshmen and they put it on themselves. It's hard. It's hard on freshmen, man. Their legs feeling like mush on Thursday and they still got to get through Friday and Saturday. So, and you get playing against older guys that's been through it. That's one thing I give Rayshawn, Williams, Mike Durr, those guys were talking to our freshmen last year because they had went through it the year before, and they was telling them, "You'll make it through. It ain't as bad. You'll get through it. And next year, So I think that's one of the things that people don't understand is how hard it is for freshmen to play and just get through preseason.
For sure,
It's hard.
Yeah, for those who don't know, Rayshawn Williams played with the Georgia Stars out of Calhoun County.
Yep.
South Georgia kid. Just throw that out there.
And you know what, Locke? He has improved his jump shot. And he still works on it every day, but his body, you might remember him. He already had a good looking physique. You should see him now. And and his freshman year coming in the summer, I had just gotten hired, and it was a struggle for him. It was a struggle for him to get through that weight room because he had never done it before.
Never did it. Yeah.
Right. He was just God gifted, naturally muscular. If I had his body, I would still be walking around with my shirt off. I wouldn't have this South Florida shirt on. That's how good he looks now. But now he just attached those weights, and he understands now. But it was a struggle for him his freshman year, and then he played more last year, and we're expecting him to come in and play a lot again this year.
Hey, Coach, tell me the best kid that you've had. Well, Coach Huff always tells this story. He talks about Adam Flagler at his first practice, that Adam Flagler couldn't make it through that first practice and then turned out to be one of the better players that he's had. Have you had any kids like that where it looked like in June, July early that they just wasn't going to make it? And then
let me just tell you this. When I was at Winthrop a few years back, at Winthrop, we recruited Georgia really, really hard. We had a kid, Reggie Middleton from Augusta. Reggie Miller's a killer, but Reggie Middleton was a stone cold killer from Augusta now. He would drop buckets on you, right? So he gets to campus I think it was in June or July, the first week. He calls his mom and say, "Come get me." I had to call that mom. "Don't come get him. He'll be okay. He'll be okay." Because he had never lifted the running. He was like, man, he was just a baller from Augusta.
Yeah.
Glen Hills High School. And so he was, I said, I don't know if this kid gonna make it. He was struggling. You know what? But that dude scored over 1,000 points in 3.5 years because he broke his leg midway through his freshman year, got us to 2 NCAA tournaments, and he was pretty good. I'm always looking for a tough Reggie Middleton, but he was good. I didn't think he was going to make it just because it was tough on him. He was just a hooper that had never lifted, had never conditioned. And by the time he was leaving Winthrop with his degree, that people never thought he would get a degree from Winthrop, coming out of Glen Hills over in Augusta. That's just a success story that I talk about all the time. His first week, he called his mama and told her to come get him. And she called me. I said, "Don't come get him. He'll be fine. Let me go over here and see him. He'll be fine." But he could not make it through his first 2 or 3 weightlifting sessions. He ended up hating the strength coach. And then when he was graduating, he loved him, wanted him to work him out so he can go overseas and play. But that's one of the stories, kind of like what Cabral was talking about with Flagler.
You know what? I want you to Bryce needs to hear this one. I need you to tell Bryce about Mike Hughes. And your recruitment of him, what he became. Nobody was on him. Why nobody was on him?
I'm gonna tell you, and this is why I love AAU, but also I don't put a lot of stock. I gotta trust. I'm getting old, these lion eyes. I gotta trust them. But Mike Hughes, and I had set out the year before because I had some personal stuff I had set out. So I had watched Mike Hughes play. I was like, he's pretty good. If I get a job, get back in, I'm gonna recruit him. So the one thing he did, Mike Hughes was just a baller. He won 3 state championships, was MVP 3 times. And the crazy thing about it is he didn't play much. He was on an AAU team that was absolutely loaded. He had one kid, I think, going to North Carolina, had another kid going to Cincinnati. He had 3 or 4 kids he was playing behind that had all the height. But Mike Hughes was freshman of the year. I'm not freshman of the year. I'm sorry. I think he finished second, freshman of the year. He was 2-time All-League at Georgia Southern, got his degree, number 1, but scored over 1,000 points, and nobody wanted him. And, I said, he's pretty good. He's more athletic. And at the end of his senior year, people in North Carolina was saying, how did Georgia Southern get him? But we recruited him. And again, this is where you got to do your homework. Because he played on the AAU team, he could play anywhere in the country. He could have played in the ACC, SEC, wherever. But because he played behind those guys in AAU, a lot of schools fell off of him. Okay. And then I was going back to the high school. I knew the high school coach. And I said, I drove up there and got him. I didn't even fly me. And I drove to Winston-Salem, picked him up and brought him back. And it's funny you say that, Cabral. His grandmother called me last week to check on me and see how I was doing. She just thanks me all the time for it. But incredible kid, first of all league guy, and nobody wanted to take him.
I know.
How did y'all get him?
I know. I was like, where did this kid come from? And I say that because if that kid had played for an AAU team like Bryce has, because Mike Hughes was playing for a shoe company team, no disrespect. If he plays for a team like Bryce has, and he's getting major minutes, we don't have a chance at Georgia Southern that he's playing at Georgia Southern.
No, because he'd be in the ACC, SEC. And when you're growing up in North Carolina, kids want to play in the ACC now. That's Carolina, Duke, Wake Forest, NC State, all them guys. So that's what they grow up watching. And I'm just telling you, he was in Winston-Salem. He would go over to Wake Forest and just crush them. And they liked him. They knew about him, but they didn't really have room for him. And he played for CP3 on the Nike circuit. And they had some dudes. They had killers. They had a squad that year. and I forgot the kid's name that went to North Carolina who he was playing behind, but he was a 4-year player at Carolina. But it just goes to show you it's players everywhere. And that's as far as coaches, you got to be able to trust your judgment and what you see. And again, you got to know the fit, what your coach can coach. And if he can fit in your program, I don't care who's recruiting him. If you trust, you got to trust your eyes and trust your judgment. And that's one time I think I got lucky on that one. These old eyes didn't fail me that time.
Hey, man, started right off the bat, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
No doubt. I always love the shout outs to the independent circuit. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to give the independents no love, dog, but
Oh, I'm gonna tell you right now, because those are kids a lot of times is playing, they got a chip on their shoulder. And when you get a kid with a chip on his shoulder, they're gonna be a little more gritty, a little more tough than the kid that's been given everything. Now, and they both might be talented. Don't get me wrong. I go to shooting deals. I'm gonna go wherever I need to go to get a player, unless that first 48 done been in there, then I gotta be tough.
Right. I ain't got no kids. I don't have no kids from the first 48 neighborhoods, I don't think.
Yeah. Hey, and if they good enough, I just have to go there in the daytime and let them know I'm coming in there. Hey, I'm gonna be out of there by night though.
No doubt.
Yeah. So hey, no doubt. I mean, that's one of the things I'll go anyway. And again, that goes back to being able to communicate. You got to be able to talk and communicate with everybody. Yeah, Winston-Salem does have some players. I worked at Carver High School, and I was a high school coach there. So, yeah, no doubt.
No doubt. We about at that time of day, fellas, man. Y'all want to show some kids?
No doubt.
Yeah.
Coach, what we try to do every episode of the show, man, because of COVID-19, there are guys that would have been out here playing, putting themselves on display for college coaches trying to get their talent seen and evaluated. So we try to show some kids highlights on the show, talk about them a little bit, and give them a little extra exposure, man. So feel free to hang out with us, man. We're just gonna show some players on the screen.
Look, if I need to, I'll jot names down because I'll circle back around.
Hey, Coach, feel free.
No doubt.
And I do got to shout that out though, man, because we've seen a lot of kids end up with offers, man, and find homes based off of showing our plays. I feel like it's at least one kid every week that ends up getting something based on that, man. So let's go ahead and let's make it happen.
No doubt.
Who running point today? Who going first today?
Who went first last time?
I did.
I can go first, man.
It don't matter to me, man. Which I got yours already up, Bryce. Which one you want, bro?
Man, I ain't do no Canes today. I should have done a Canes when I was thinking about doing Zacho, but I was like, man, I feel like he always gets talked about, so I didn't do his. But
Lock, he falling in the Mondre plan.
I see you.
I was gonna do Zacho today, but I feel
like show him, bro. Show him.
I don't have any film on him right now, so it's kind of late. But I did do. I took it to Tri-Cities, and I took it to where did go to high school? Pace. Yeah. So whatever one you want to do first, you can start. Whatever you pull up.
All right. This is Tri-Cities first.
All right. So Tri-Cities, my man. Simeon Cottle, he's 2022, so he's a little younger, point guard, and I don't know how his film is because it's not, it's this crossover is different from huddle, so I think he got a guy flip through the plays to get each one, but he's a smaller guard, but he's gonna be really good. He's talented. He's played high level AAU basketball with TSF in the past. And I'm pretty sure he's won a state championship. That's him shooting a shot, automatic from the three, high IQ point guard, facilitates. I mean, he's going to be good. I would think that probably next year he'll probably be first team all region. I mean, he's got a lot of experience playing with these older guys. So I think next year it'll probably be, him running the show for the most part. Him and Peyton. So that's gonna be a good combo backcourt to watch them two. So that's him handling the ball right there. Like I said, I don't know how this works, but
yeah, the crossover highlights, they always show the bucket like 15 seconds in. Like it's a little different.
Don't worry, there'll be no more crossover after this year.
Yeah,
I mean, it's already done. I'm sorry, it's already done.
Yeah.
Everything is huddle now.
Yeah, I saw the email about that.
Yeah.
Hey, Don, y'all want Woodstock love? We already showed you guys on the show, big dog.
He's stroking it. He's stroking it, man.
Yeah, we had your kid on here too, bro.
Who?
That's why they got to catch every show.
Yep, don't miss the show.
Your name gonna get called.
That's a big deal right there.
Put Woodstock on the show. I don't put y'all on my IG live. Like
he's stroking it, man.
Yeah, Simeon definitely shoot it, man.
And he's gotten more athletic too. So it's coming. It's coming. And I mean, the kid he might, and I haven't seen him in a long time, but he might be 5'10". So I know he's playing above the rim now, and he's always had that three, that knockdown three. So yeah, he's definitely one to look at. Good pass.
For sure.
And then the other one is Madison Durr.
State champion.
Yep. Madison probably about 6'4" now, a lot. I haven't seen him. 6'4", big. He's been in the weight room too. Pace has an incredible training program. And the dude, he's gotten a lot bigger. Won a state championships, played high level AAU with Express. Transition from more of a scoring position or scoring wing to a point guard at Pace. So I think that's a little bit of an adjustment for him. But at his size, his strength, he's getting it done. He picked up some offers. He got Gulf Coast. He's got Siena. He's got a few more D1s I can't think about. I think Tulane's offered him too. So he's got quite a few people reaching out to him already. He's one of those kids that we have been talking about for years and years and years. So he's not necessarily a sleeper, but we haven't talked about him in a long time. So
do you see him Pace for doing a repeat with Bryce?
I think anything is possible when you have him and Matthew Cleveland, to be honest, and the big boy down low. I mean, that's three tough players. You throw in some football dudes, and a shooter, and you good to go. So I mean, I think they got over the hump. After losing the first time, they got over the hump. I think they probably have a really legit chance of winning again. I'm sure they got a gauntlet going into that season. So I'm sure they'll be prepared for it.
For sure. I like Madison, man.
Good kid, great GPA, great test scores, all that stuff. Comes from a good family. He's just, I've known him for a long time. So good kid.
No doubt. Can't forget Coach White.
Yeah, Coach White. Yeah.
That helps.
Yeah. So those are my two. And my third is Zako, who I don't have no film on. So but this is crazy because I'm probably the biggest Maryland Terrapins fan. If I see something, I'm gonna read it. If I see something, I'm gonna watch it. He reminds me of Juan Dixon, and I don't know if that's like
who you talking about, Zach?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think Juan shot it as well.
Juan shot ball.
As Zach.
I thought Juan's more like a floor general. And Zach was still trying to be more of a floor general.
Juan was he was a little bit of both. He brought it up sometimes. He was on the wing sometimes. He knocked the shot down.
There's been a new coaching change in North Carolina Christian.
Who?
Greg Mata is back.
Greg Mata back.
It's old news, Buck.
I just old news. They asked me to shout it out on the podcast.
Who asked you to shout it out?
One of the players' father's name Tremaine.
I heard he was coaching the boys and the girls.
How you gonna coach both?
No idea how that's going to work.
That's gonna be a nice little stipend right there, though.
That's what I'm understanding.
That's what it's all about, that stipend.
He coaching boys. Coach Mata's coaching boys and girls this year. That's what I understand.
Oh, they got you circled on the schedule.
Listen, Juan Dixon was a killer.
I said North Carolina Christian got you circled on the schedule.
What they got a circle that we playing them?
Yeah. Hey, it ran across my phone. They got y'all circled on the schedule.
I hear you.
Yeah.
The shade. Hey, y'all might not know her well enough to understand. Okay, yeah, no.
What happened?
I'm done.
Hey,
don't say nothing.
We play Holy Innocents this season. It's gonna be a good matchup between, I ain't gonna say the kid's name, and Garrison. I seen you the finalized schedule.
Chance coming home.
Chance on the North Carolina Christian.
Here you go.
I can't breathe. Hey, the inside joke's going on right now.
I'm going to get to my kids, so this is getting a lot of.
Hey, I'll take him and get him right, though. I'll take him and get him right. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Hey, man.
My face?
Huh?
Do you see my face?
Hey.
What you already know? I'm gonna get real close to this camera.
I get it right, bro. I love a project, mentally and physically. Either one.
Well, I guess he's gonna be at Creekside.
TTP. He gonna love that.
Hey, we have this like before the season starts, we have this like a bonding weekend, and like the kids, they go out, they do community service, they do, they go to church on Sunday. We spend time with him and stuff like that. I know, sometimes it takes a little.
You'll get him right, Bryce.
I'm just kidding. I'm just talking out the side of my neck. Right
I will give Bryce his flowers when it comes to this. Bryce has coached a lot of elite level kids, so he understands that mindset.
I'm not saying you had coach elite level kids, right? I'm not saying.
Here's the thing about it.
I have coach elite level kids too.
No,
Alpharetta.
Just because I'm bigging up Bryce does not mean that I'm tearing down another person's resume.
I'm just saying. I think Bryce could get it. He's younger than me. It might be some stuff I couldn't relate to.
Nah, I don't know.
It may just be some stuff that has nothing to do with you guys at all.
Yeah,
the maturity of the kid, and the kid has to be ready to listen to somebody, and Bryce might be that dude.
You're right.
I don't know though. I seen him box out. I wouldn't go for that shit.
Well,
but
Bryce, are you gonna get him a teacher stamp? Are you gonna get him a stamp?
I did my two.
All right, I'll go.
Look, I'm getting text messages from TTP kids right now talking about they need love on the show. I got you next week, dog. I got you.
All right, I'm gonna do my two. I kind of went under the radar this time. Two people that people may not even know about. I'm gonna start with my 2020 kid. Yeah, there's still some 2020s out there. From Alabama.
Okay, cool. I think I got the right one. Now watch. I'm gonna pull this video up. It's gonna be the wrong one, but I think it's the right one.
If you do, I can roll with it, PG. You hear me, lot, PG? This is Terrence Fleming from Dauphine High School in Dauphine, Alabama. 6'7" big. That's still out there. Left hand. Averaged 11, 12 points a game last year. I know people are still looking for bigs. I've seen him a little. but I definitely know there are, programs out there that are still looking for bigs. And he's a big that plays around the basket.
Mm-hmm.
Posts up. Knows how to hook shot. He rebounds.
He's a lefty.
Yeah. So when I got a chance to see him, I really liked him. I wanted to show him some love. And, like I said, you're 6'7" right now. I don't know what's going on in Alabama, but if you were in Georgia at 6'7", I don't think you would have a problem finding a school to play for, bro.
No, what part of Alabama?
Dauphine, trying to see what it's near. It wouldn't be a place you would go to, I tell you that, Bryce. I mean, lot.
I don't know, man. I've been to a lot of places.
Hey, Locke is the type of dude that is definitely partying in Dauphine, Alabama. Definitely.
Hey, man. Yeah, I don't know about no country spots. Be on point. Them back roads. Got some good vibes.
And then my other kid is a 2021 kid. I think this kid, if we were playing right now, would have took off. Chris Cole from Brookwood High School.
Yeah, it's about 6'5".
6'5", hey.
Yeah,
I already know he would have took off, bro.
I used to coach him. I used to coach him with Game Elite.
Man, that's
yeah.
Like all those stats will go up this year.
No, Chris Cole's good. I think he was gonna play with YRN this summer.
You might be right. On his head.
He up on that rim.
Watch this. I was gonna think there's another one coming up.
Give me it.
Yeah.
He blocked the shot, pushing the floor.
Lefty. I showed 2 lefties today just for y'all.
Yeah, he's gonna be a big time sleeper.
Yeah. Long, can get to the rim, safety, can stroke it. Kid shot 43% from 3 last year.
That's great. Central Gwinnett.
How tall you say he was again?
Say it again.
How tall you say he was again?
6'5".
6'5".
Good move, boy.
Nice move. Footwork.
Yeah, when you got good highlights, we let you rock out a little bit.
I always love kids who make the right basketball play too.
For sure. Hey, Mark is determined to get you paid, Huff.
Hey, I appreciate it. Mark, you might need to be my agent.
Hey, 275. I need more to come work for me.
Hey, Mark been on here. He been Huff agent for the last 3 weeks.
Hey, Mark.
We grinding for Huff.
I hear you.
Hey, I'll go ahead and go. I got a JUCO. Yeah, I got a one JUCO kid I want to show. Pull it up. Share screen.
Mark got the OG basketball stories from Rucker Park.
Y'all see my screen?
Not yet. There you go.
All right. This is a guard out of big time JUCO, out of Chipola. Chris Gardner out of Albany, Georgia.
I was about to say that name sounds familiar.
Yeah, he played for Westover.
Okay, that's why I was like, man, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, he won Region Player of the Year coming out of high school. Did 1 year prep at Hargrave, and then now he had this is his freshman year at JUCO. One of the top JUCOs in the nation, Chipola.
They just had a change.
They had what, Huff?
Coaching change. Coach left.
You know what? I did hear that.
Yeah, he did. He went to what? Buffalo?
Buffalo.
Yeah.
And I think one of the main schools that's on Chris Gardner right now is just New Mexico. So I'm trying to see if he's going to do one more year at JUCO because he's only a freshman.
Do you know if he's a qualifier?
I got to check to make sure because I know he had to do a prep year to get qualified. So I think he is. Bam. Sees the court well, can pass with both hands. Can knock down shots from deep.
Like, you ain't gonna let that slide, are you,
Huh?
You ain't gonna let that slide what Mark just put up.
Hold on, I'm over looking at the video. What he said.
The man said he looked too skilled to be from the Benny.
Hey man, he was trained by Rod V. Givens. Georgia go hard. Best trainer in South Georgia. One of the top trainers in Georgia. Rod V. Givens. So
Shout out to Robbie for sure.
that's the only kid I had to show. And Mark, you know, you've been down there, Mark. We got some players. Not a lot of skilled players, but we got a few players.
I'm gonna shout out. This is.
Man, he probably gonna show Jabari Smith, man.
I might. We should.
Might as well.
That man don't need your help, right?
Nobody go.
Hey, we show love to the culture, dog. It's about the culture.
He got a Georgia man up kid or somebody from Dave's from somebody.
Nah, man. This is LaKendrick Lyles from Monroe area.
I know who that is.
I see. Y'all hating for y'all know.
Who sent him to you? Who sent him to you?
Dang, he not trusting your Andre. He said he sent him to you.
They never do, dog.
Nah, I trust Trey. I'm just trying to figure out where he finding kids at this point from Monroe. Like
Dead eye shooter, man, with range.
Is he a 2021?
Yes, he's 2021.
Man, Monroe gonna be loaded again. They got him and the kid I showed Thursday, Derek Brown.
Kid automatic from 3, man. Like he's not missing. Which
Hey, you gotta have some nuts to do that pass.
Ooh.
Plays hard. Say automatic from distance, man. Really gets after it. Let his team in scoring, man. Club Orange.
Hey, man, they're gonna be pretty good, man. They still in 3A?
I don't know.
They are. They got to be a prohibitive favorite. I'll say that.
Definitely.
I don't know, man. I heard some transfers going on.
What am I? I don't know, but Pace dropped down to 2A though.
Really?
Yeah, Pace and Thayer are the same region next year. Pace Thayer in South Carolina.
We can't talk about Errol no more.
Dang, dog. You go.
They don't get no more love.
No, Robert Lee, Coach Johnson Lee, they get no more love, huh?
Dude, no Coach Johnson, no Roman Son, no Rob,
They got my boy Crane.
no Rashawn Fredericks.
Man, I think you got to announce as the girls' coach, man.
We're gonna have to get that. We're gonna have to get that for Academy on here too, because we got to talk about some things.
Yeah, so I don't know what's gonna happen. Don't get me wrong. Like I want them to be really good, but I haven't heard that they've made a hire yet. So I don't know what to say about their program right now. Trust me, I want to have something to say. But this is another kid, a kid that, again, this is somebody that doesn't need our help, but a kid that in a loaded 2021 class, especially at the guard position, where these guys would have been out here fighting it out to say who is the best guard at 2021. We had some elite level guys that was in that fight, that was trying to scrap that thing out and establish dominant to who's going to be the dominant guy. So wanted to show some love to JoJo Peterson.
He's good.
I like JoJo, man. I like JoJo.
He
was gonna play with the Celtics, right?
And shout out to J Mixtape for the video.
Hey, that Celtics team was gonna be loaded this year.
Loaded.
They weren't even gonna be the Celtics. They were gonna be Team Dickerson.
Oh, that's dope. Man.
Great player.
Oh. Oh my God. It's a highlight tape. Woo-hoo.
Yeah. Gotta show that kiss, man. I mean, we talk about guys not, you want your highlight tape in the first 15, 20 seconds to tell everybody who you are. I don't think this kid's wasted no time on telling people what he is.
What is he, 6'4"?
Yeah.
Good joint. So wanted to show, that class. We talk a lot about that class of 2021 and those guys that's at the top from a guard spot all the time. But we never mentioned that kid's name. So
JoJo Peterson, Jashawn Hope, Derek Brown, Matt Davis. Woo.
Hey, let's get it popping on the ESPN court.
Oh,
you calling him out?
I'm Damon right now. You want y'all? Hey, Damon got a gym. Y'all can go right now.
I got the belt right now. Come on now. I'm the champ, right? I'm the undisputed McEachern ESPN champ right now from that.
Right. Don't write a check your ass can't cash.
Hey.
Don't bounce checks around here. You gonna make us look bad.
Hey, let's get it. Let's get it, man. I'm trying to play on the ESPN court at 7:00 at night, prime time.
I feel that, Bryce. I feel that. At that point, everybody wins, man. Win or lose, as long as your kids show well, everybody wins.
What Bryce owe you if you lose?
I owe him nothing because Lock ain't sitting on my bench. Lock didn't want to sit on my bench last year when we was winning, so it's all good.
We do got one last kid that want to show us a 2020 kid. This was a Hoops Hidden Gems kid from Dave. Wanted to show James Munlin, 6'11", center for high school.
Remember Bryce, we were talking about him?
Yeah, never mind.
I kind of got the same feel. I don't know
where did you get his film from?
This came from Dave. I mean, I knew about the kid, but this came from
he's legit big now.
Nah, he's huge. He's huge. But yeah.
I've always wanted the kid to play harder. I'm not talking about the kid. If he would have played harder, we probably wouldn't be showing him right now.
I think he's just so big. Like, it's just hard for him to play as hard as you want him to. I mean, he's huge.
Man,
he's a 2020 kid.
Yeah, he's
2020.
Oh man, I got a perfect spot for him.
He probably gonna have to do a year of junior college or prep school or something. I mean, I don't know.
I mean,
I think he's a smart kid though.
What's this kid's name?
James Munlin.
But this guy has had those offers and opportunities, man. It's just gonna be, what is he gonna be willing to take? You 6'11", he's got some skill and some ability, so it's not like people haven't seen him. But it's gonna be, what does he want? What is it gonna take? And I don't know what his situation is right now.
Unsigned.
But that was a kid.
What kind of offers has he had? Dre, what kind of offers has he had?
I know he's had some Division twos. I think he has some JUCOs and stuff as well. You gotta go to Dave. Go to Hoops Hidden Gems, man. I think Dave got the latest update on what
right.
Mm-hmm.
You taking him at Morehouse?
Yeah, I take him at Morehouse. Yeah, but I still think he needs time though.
Yeah.
If you want my honest opinion, I would take him at Morehouse in a heartbeat, but I still need him to do those things.
He's gonna need a year, maybe 2.
Yeah.
Got to get in better shape. Got to get stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've watched him in different settings. I've watched him in camp setting. I think I've seen him in game setting. Just a few things that he's got to be able to run the court a little bit faster. Kind of, he drops the ball. Some just small things that he would have to improve.
All right. So I got a question. Is he better than Rich? What's the kid name? That was at Peachtree Ridge that went somewhere that went to Mississippi Valley.
I don't think
He's not better than him.
Nah, I don't think so.
Rich can step out and shoot the
Yeah, Rich is more skilled.
I don't think he's better than him. Nah.
Yeah, Rich is way more skilled.
Just was 2 kids about the same size.
Yeah, but the thing about him is, like you said, like if you take the time to get him right, then you got one because you hit that dude. The dude is big, like he's huge.
So should Rich Rivers have stayed at Mississippi Valley?
I can't answer that. I don't know.
I mean, he had 4.8 points. He was only there a year. I mean, I don't know the situation. I'm just outside looking in. We talk about freshmen, as Coach Dixon talked about having to learn what college is about. Did he give it enough time? If that's all it is, it could be more. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know him. I don't know his skill set.
So where does he land?
Huh?
Does he go down a level or he goes JUCO?
I would think he go JUCO.
I would probably say he goes JUCO to see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying D2s are probably not salivating to try to get him.
Yeah. But I mean, if I have the grades and I'm James Munlin, I might take a Morehouse, man. Honestly.
I don't know how a kid that has D2 offers, and
I think this is what we got to realize, and this is what parents and kids, trainer, everybody's got to realize. The time right now is very different than any other time that we had. So nobody's playing. People are it's 2021 kids that's snatching up scholarships right now. Like it's up in the office right now, and you still waiting on a better offer that may not come.
I've said it time and time again. In today's climate, I don't know what kids are waiting for, but I'm just going from a style of play standpoint with this kid that if I'm going to Augusta. Like,
hey, coach,
if I'm a big,
I got to assist some level that's available.
Oh,
hey, I got
on the show.
I can't wait.
Okay, so Mondre, you're talking about you would go to Augusta. I agree.
So he needs.
I agree.
I'm big.
Yeah, I agree. But these 2 kids are 2 totally different kids. That dude at Augusta is a pro.
Man, I'm finna holler.
I don't think this kid is quite there.
Well, and I'm not saying that he is, Bryce. I'm not saying that he's as good as I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
I'm saying I want to go to a school where their system is going to benefit me.
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
Because I don't know that kid was what we saw when he left Georgia Southern either.
That's true.
You see what I'm saying? So if I'm a big kid and I see that, and I know that's their style of play, they want to give me the ball, they want to develop. Why not?
Yeah.
Larry may answer that question. You may just have to ask. I don't know if he will or won't.
What's that?
The big that was at Georgia Southern that went to Augusta State. Because I know you were on him. That was a kid you really liked.
Well, I thought, and this is where kids gotta decide style of play. Style of play is huge in terms of if you're a big kid and they don't play through the post, you probably shouldn't go to certain situations. Whereas if you are a big kid and you know that they feed the post or they play through the post and you're good, you gotta, You got to look at that situation. And again, kids get caught up D1, D2. You know, you better go, and Corey says all the time, D3. And I went D2, and I like what my life is. You know, I got a degree, and can't nobody take that degree away from me. So my thing is, you got to go get an education, and this whether D2, D1, or D3, and it's ballers everywhere.
For sure.
I play with a guy, Green Light Parker. They didn't call him Green Light for nothing. He had so, and he gave a guy that played in our league, played in the league, gave him 44, 49, and hit the last 2 free throws to most at the gym. You know, my thing is you go, it's high level basketball, no matter what. It's players everywhere. But the biggest thing is you got to go get a degree. It's kids sitting here waiting. And the landscape, and I think somebody said earlier, is changing. The recruiting is changing now, you know. So guys better make some decisions or lean on some people, because this recruiting will not be the same after this year. I'm just telling you. So the biggest thing is you better go get if D1s are not on you right now and you're a 20 kid, you're ready to graduate, you might need to readjust your thinking, and it's okay to go to D2. It's a lot of people that's played Division II turned out okay, you know, and you know, Scottie Pippen, they just told him he was the manager, equipment manager, whatever. He was cleaning the gym. He's one of the top players ever. So they're gonna find you if it's for you, they can't take it from you. But you better get an opportunity to play. Last time I checked, no NBA scouts are coming to mom's house to see you play on the blacktop. You better get in somebody's gym and play, and you better be doing it while you're getting a degree. Bottom line.
That kid that Mondre showed, James Munlin, like last year, I know we tried. I was approached to get him to play on the independent circuit, and I tried. And I mean, I thought it would have been beneficial for him because he would have been able to play in front of coaches directly, and he would have got a lot of playing time. He ended up playing on the shoe team, I think, and you know,
workout. And
it probably wasn't his best, you know. So, decision making, that's something we don't talk about enough on here. Is, you know, AAU coach can help you out, a high school coach can help you out, whoever else can help you out, but ultimately,
sometimes not even your high school coach.
Yeah. My point, but what I'm trying to say is sometimes it comes down to your parents' decision making and them setting you up for success. You know what I mean? So if you start off on the shoe team and then you go finish the summer with the independent team, that doesn't mean the independent team can save you and get you something Division I.
And the one thing I'll say, Bryce, is, and I'm not referring to that kid, because I don't know, but I'm talking about Tyshawn. Tyshawn's in a great situation with a good guy, Dip, who's going to develop him. And I spent a year or two with Tyshawn at Georgia Southern. And again, it's the fit. It's the fit. Definitely. And I'm just talking in general about kids. It's 2020, and it's, you see it so many times where kids want to go prep school. Pretty soon you're gonna age out of prep school. You got to go get a degree. And it's okay to go. I guarantee you, guys right now that think they're high major D1. If they go to the CIAA, they wouldn't have the year that they think they would as a freshman.
They're going to go.
I'll put money on that.
It's funny you said that, LD. I would challenge any person that's watching us to go look up Robert Cologne. Winston State. Stone Cold Killer.
Yeah, I saw him.
CIAA.
That's the guard? That's the
guard. Yep, he's a guard. Yeah, Stone Cold Killer.
So, the bottom line, and don't get me wrong, when I was 18, 19, I waited around because I had some D1s messing with me at the time, but I thought I was bigger and better than I really was. And I had to take a piece of humble pie. And then when I went to John C. Smith, I got my tail kicked, absolutely kicked when I got there, because one, I wasn't strong enough. Two, I wasn't ready mentally. and it was a whole nother world. But luckily I was blessed to stay with it and didn't give up, and I was able to play 4 years there and get a degree, and it took me from where I needed to where I need to go. But the bottom line, I got a degree, thank goodness, for my mom and my dad saying you can't come home. So and they didn't allow that. And so I had to I had to suck it up. And the most proud I've ever seen my mom was when I walked across that stage. And I tell kids all the time, if you want to see your mama cry in a good way, walk across that stage and get that degree, because an old coach told me, and I never forget it. Welcome T. Moulton, rest his soul. And I used to laugh at him, but he said, hey, it's better to get your name on a piece of paper instead of in the paper. Now let that sit in. Get your name on that piece of paper, they can't take it off. But they'll forget about you if you just got your name in the paper. Think about that now. And it took me a while to understand that, but I now know what it means. You got to get that degree. And I'm always going to stress that to kids, especially inner city kids. It might be the only way out is basketball. Don't wait on D1. Go D2, use basketball, and don't let basketball use you. And I know we've all heard that, but again, get your name on a piece of paper instead of in the paper, and you'll be much better and have a successful life.
I think right now, Coach, kids are for whatever reason, they feel like that if they go D2 or NAIA or wherever, that it's basically like giving up on their dream of being a pro. I don't think that guys understand that they're not going to put D2 on your degree.
Right.
Or you don't have no student loans.
Right. Just the thing I tell you is just make sure the school is certified, and then you'll be fine. Don't go to Trump University. I probably shouldn't say that.
Yeah. You be in biology class drinking hydroxychloroquine.
You go to John C. Smith and get you a degree. And I'm sorry if I hurt people's feelings, but go where it's certified. Go where it's certified and get that degree and get that stamp on it. And they can't take it from you. They can't take it from you. That's the biggest thing. Make sure that university certified and go make the best of it. Because I'm telling you what now, I created friends and memories at Smith that I can never forget. And I got lifelong brothers now that I talk to all the time. And we all came through that. And people that know, I know Antonio Wade on here, hoop, fi, hoop. That's what we call each other. So brothers, you know what I'm saying? So you got to go and you can make memories. It doesn't matter if it's D2, D3, D1, whatever. Get the degree that's from a certified university.
100%, Coach. Get your name on the paper and not in the paper.
Exactly.
I already tweeted it, Mondre.
Good tweet.
No doubt.
We got to have that conversation at some point, Coach. We're coming to the end of our show tonight, but we got to have that conversation to help educate parents and players and even some coaches too, because I feel like AAU coaches, a lot of us are pushing kids to do certain things when it doesn't always make sense, and really talk about the differences between Division I, Division II, I think some guys is holding out to go D1 and they don't even necessarily know why that's a stopper for them, man.
And that's the thing. You just got to educate them and educate the parents. Because that's where a lot of them are hearing it from. If the parents are saying it day in, day out, you got to go to South Florida. It doesn't always work. South Florida is not for everybody. But now a college is for everybody if you choose to go that route. And people, if you want to get a degree, you can. And if you play high school basketball, there's somewhere in the country that you can play at, whether it's D3, NAIA, it don't matter. But you can play basketball while getting an education. So you just got to find the right fit, find your niche, and be proud of it. Take some pride in it and play hard as you can once you get there.
Hey, man, I know we're about to end the show. You held out, Larry Dixon.
What's that?
Man, I just saw who y'all had on y'all Zoom session today.
I told you, BG do some unbelievable things now. He was tremendous too. He was tremendous. It was good for our guys.
They had Tony Dungy on their Zoom session today with their team.
Yeah, he was unbelievable with our guys, and I told you, guys, BG is all about educating our guys off the floor, spending time with them, and that's what separates him from a lot of really good head coaches. Because on the floor he can coach, and there's a lot of guys can coach, but he takes it off the floor and always trying to educate the guys. And we talk about, and a lot of times we have meetings, we talk about stuff that may be uncomfortable for some guys to talk about. BG talks to him about Martin Luther King, the importance. It's just different things that he's always trying to educate our guys and prepare them for life. And that's what I think separates him from a lot of guys, And like I say, he had Tony Dungy in there, and Tony Dungy was tremendous, So, yeah, I figured you would sniff that out.
Facts.
Huff back in the front of the classroom. He back with his A plus on the paper.
Hey, that's my guy. That's my guy. Hey, it all didn't start out so good. He almost gave me frostbite in my feet, but now we're good now.
I think lap to lap with the suitcases on y'all.
Hey, I looked at him and said, "Hey, is that the bus to take us to the bus?"
Hey, speaking of, Coach, let's not get out of here without telling that story. This is the perfect way to end the podcast.
Well, let me just say, it was Cabral's first. It was Cabral's first road trip. We were going to Chicago. We left Georgia Southern. We left Savannah. It was like 78. So it was great outside. Got to Chicago. It's snowing. We're standing outside with all our suitcases. I said, "Where the bus?" Cabral said, "There it is." He said it proudly too. "There it is." I said, "What is that? That's taking us to the bus?" "No." I said, "Cabral, that ain't our bus." I wanted to tell him ahead of time before he went inside and told Ma. I said, "Cabral, can you call somebody and have that bus take us to the bus?" And he said, So we had to drive about an hour and a half, 2 hours. And I knew we was in trouble when the bus driver got up. He didn't get off to take our luggage. He had on gloves and a toboggan. I said, "Oh, this ain't gonna be good." And you ever been somewhere when you can't look at somebody because you know you're gonna bust out laughing? So Raw was sitting in front of me. I kept trying to look out the window, and then all of a sudden the window dropped. And it's cold, that air blowing in on me, and I'm like, "Oh boy, this ain't good." I say, Cabral might be riding that bus back to catch a plane back to Savannah. So luckily, long story short, Cabral, he must have worked all through the night, but he got us a good bus coming in that next morning before we went to shoot around. Hey, but I thought when we got to Champaign, Illinois, I thought I was going to have to go to the hospital because that cold had got in my bones and my ankles, and I thought I had frostbite for real. I was freezing, but I could not look it. And I know you guys had Tim Kaine. Tim Kaine was on our staff, and the whole time Tim is texting me say he's fired. He's fired. And so I'm sitting on that bus.
I didn't say that part.
Hey, and it was so much tension on the bus that nobody, even the players, wasn't saying. The players was back there saying, "Man, what is going on?" And next thing I know, Mar said, "We got to get another bus." So I'm sitting there like, couldn't move, because if I had looked at Cabral, I'd have busted out. I'd have been fired. Cabral and I would have been going back to Savannah, getting the flight back. So I had to sit there and not only hold my laughter in, but I was sitting there shivering. But that's how Cabral's career started off. Then I had to take him under my wing and say, "Cabral, we got to let me see every bus you have. Every time we go on a road trip, I got to see the bus. One, I got to make sure we got heat. But two, I got to make sure it's the right size and we can throw that luggage up under there." But I thought me and Cabral was fired. And it was crazy though. But I couldn't look at him until the next day. And then I busted out. But now, hey, he did come back and had an unbelievable meal at the shoot around, at the practice. I said, "You redeem yourself. You got that bus. You got us a good meal. We good."
Hey, I also say this now, and I know Mondre, I appreciate this. When we came to play Georgia State, Mark still talks about Mary Max to this day.
Hey, and I messed up about that because I didn't get a chance to eat there because
you were recruited.
No, I went. Remember, my daughter had her first father-daughter dance, sixth grade in Charlotte. So I missed practice and met the team the next day. Mark was talking about Mary Max for like 2 weeks. Every time we went recruiting, what's that place Cabral to? I said, man, I don't know. We ain't got time for that. Let's go find a player. He wanted to go to Mary Max and eat.
Hey, that Mary Max will get you right, man.
Yeah.
That cornbread.
Yeah, but hey, I just want y'all to know Cabral is blessed to be on here with y'all right now.
Yeah. Hey, Coach failed to, out of the years we've been doing this podcast, Coach failed to mention that story until Tim Kaine was on the show.
Hey, there were stories on The Last Dance. You didn't hear to The Last Dance, right?
Hey, let me just say this. Every time me and Cabral get together, that's coming up now. Yeah. And it gets better every time, just so you know.
Yeah. Hey, if I'm the head coach, I would have made sure that bus was around for the whole trip. You would have had to ride that bus for the whole trip. Hey, we would have got on the other bus, but you would have been on that bus.
Well, that budget would have hurt you now. That budget would have hurt you. You didn't want that. Hey, we didn't want that budget. We got to save on the budget. I think that's what Cabral was trying to do, save on the budget, but sometimes you got to spend a little bit.
Hey, did you get a good deal on the broke bus?
Hey, man, in the podcast, man.
You never did say what it cost, Coach. I'm just saying. You never said what it cost, bro.
Hey, it didn't matter what it cost. We had to get off that bus. Hey, if we had stayed on that bus, we'd have had that Rona before the Rona.
The Rona before the
Hey, man. Coach, we definitely appreciate you, man. We appreciate your time, brother. It's been a heck of a time. Definitely appreciate you representing the university, man. I had fun preparing for the show, man. Just watching you guys play. It was a lot of fun preparing for the show, man. Wish you guys continued success recruiting our state and take care of our kids, man. So.
I appreciate it, man. Hey, maybe Cabral, y'all can bring the podcast on down here to Tampa once this stuff clear up. We'll take care. I'll tell you what
that sounds like my kind of party right there.
Hey, you gotta give me a little time. I gotta get ready for lock. I gotta get in some shape.
You gotta drop me off at the hot spots.
Hey, Coach, drink a lot of water before lock comes.
Hey, one thing about me, I done got old. I'll throw the towel in quick.
He ain't gonna let you.
You can't stop me. I'm old.
You need to come after that Central Florida game.
Yeah, come on. Hey, only if we win. If we don't win, I won't be nowhere to be found. But I appreciate y'all having me on, man. You know, anything I can do, look forward to seeing you guys when this thing open up, because, you know, we'll be up there recruiting, getting out as soon as we can. That'll be one of our first stops in the city, in the state of Georgia, and we're going to continue to recruit it and show love to you guys. Like I say, we appreciate you guys having us and always showing us hospitality. Keep up the good work, fellas.
Appreciate it, Coach.
Appreciate it, Coach.
Appreciate you, man. We want to talk about our schedule for next week, man. It's getting live out here in these streets, ain't it?
Putting in work, Dre.
You want to go to the MCA of Georgia first, huh?
Yeah, do that, and then I'll let you drop next week.
I can't drop the image. I got to have them pre-show.
All right. So all my assistant coaches out there, you want to become a head coach, look forward to the tweet coming out from the MCA of Georgia. We're going to have people to talk about interviews and resumes on Wednesday at 12 o'clock. They're going to be showing you resumes. They're going to be telling you how to interview. And if you want to become part of the mock interview session that we're going to have June 4th, then you got to take place and show your face in the building on Wednesday. Because when we do our mock interviews the next week, it's going to be administrators on there. It's going to be ADs. Like, you're going to get a real mock interview. But you can't get that to that point if you don't show love on Wednesday to do the steps to get there. Everybody want to skip a step. You can't skip this step. So Look for it. My Twitter, MCL Georgia Twitter's, Corey Black's Twitter. All of us will be tweeting it.
Oh, if you showing your resume?
Man, that thing about 30 pages long.
Now that's not a resume. That's something else. But I will show my resume though. I'll show mine. All right, so you, Dre. What we dropping next week?
Oh man, listen. So a lot of conversation got started when the image of the greatest players to ever play in Georgia got dropped. A lot of conversation. So I figured, man, who better to have that conversation than us? So on the 28th, this is our show on Thursday night. On the 28th, we'll participate in that conversation by having the thriller from Camilla. We got Jermaine Jones on the podcast, big dog.
Jermaine Jones, Mitchell Baker
on the podcast. Not only that, we have our brother. We got Claude Purdue on the show on the 28th. Talk about Tulane University. Did a lot of discussion. So we'll have Coach Purdue on the first half of the episode, and then we'll go Jermaine Jones on the second half, and we'll talk about his career. Played in NBA Finals for the Philadelphia 76ers. Hey, Tukey Brown the GOAT, man. Call Tukey. Call Tukey, man, and tell him to come on. We've been reaching out to everybody we can, man. Hey, plug us in. Plug us in. But we're gonna kick that thing off with Jermaine Jones on the 28th. Then on the 31st, we got James Forrest and Ryan Harrow coming on the show on the 31st of May. So we talking about guys that was legendary in our state, that really got busy in our state. On June the 4th, we got Kevin Ware and Bernard Thompson. Talking about guys that had big years. 2013, Kevin Ware, national champ. You know what I'm saying? Go Cards. Y'all know what time it is, just in case you don't. You know what I'm saying?
Is the banner still up?
Say what?
Huh?
Hey, no hate. 2013 national champion Kevin Ware will be on the show on June the 4th. Also, Bernard Thompson, if y'all remember, the Dunk City, Florida Gulf Coast team that went to the Sweet 16, both played in Rockdale. So we're gonna show love to the state of Georgia. So, dang, I don't know if y'all heard that. It's about to rain, so I'm getting out of here. Mama saying I know y'all young pups don't know nothing about that.
No doubt. Hey, I appreciate you guys having me. I'm out. I don't want you getting electrocuted. Now. I heard it. Hey, I don't need that coming to Tampa.
Hey, no doubt. Hey, that's our schedule, man. So we really getting after it. We showing love to the culture. We showing love to guys that got busy in Georgia, because that's what we do. So much love to y'all, man. Check us out Thursday night. We back at it. Coach Dixon, we appreciate you, man, for the love of the game crew.
Appreciate it, fellas. Appreciate it. Be safe. Later.
Yeah.